if I die before
Pray the Lord my soul to take.
pray the Lord my soul to take.
Hush, still, baby, don't say a word. And never mind that, no, you heard. It's just the piece under your bed, in your closet, in your head. Exit light into night. Grain of sand. Exit light into night. Take my hand. Lost in never land.
Here we are.
What is up, everybody?
What's up?
Another day. Oh, specs.
I went and pulled some titles.
Oh, you went pull some titles? Oh, wow. Look, imagine that.
Talk about a breath.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah, we saw
It's been
this
a while.
list.
huh?
We all saw this list, and I know we've all looked at the list now, and it's an interesting list. Let's put it that way. And some of us got some things to say about it, so that's where this idea came from.
Yeah, I definitely
If
don't
anybody-
agree with the entire list. There's some that I do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get there. But it's fun to go through these lists because okay, first of all, it's not these. It's a compilation of critics that come up with this list, and they describe them as the best 100 best, not their favorites, not the funnest, whatever, the best. So that's an interesting way to look at it, at least.
I do feel that some of the people that compiled this list have definitely beat off of the Criterion Closet
yeah.
a time or two.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I went to Trini actually about this stream, and I said, "Listen, if there was ever a stream you should be on, it's this one because it's definitely all those a lot of those critics that came up with this list. They're all straight out of the Criterion Closet.
yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of shit in there, a lot of Roman Polanski and stuff that unsophisticated, unwashed assholes like us don't care for. So it's interesting to see what's there, what's not there, and it'll be fun to go through.
Yeah, and we're gonna come later on. We're gonna give you guys more of an idea what our list is
Yeah,
down the road. So we're still working on ironing that out, whatever. But tonight we wanted to get on here and go through these 25, talk about them, and get y'all's opinion, our opinion, see what happens.
this is like This is Alan's first video back in I don't know how many years at this
Yeah, I've been on
point.
y'all's channel, but I haven't hosted a stream in a while, and so we'll see if I can still read. So, we'll see. Wild Wrangler, what's up, man?
I know what's going on.
What's up?
Watching the Blair Witch 1999, 25 years. What's up, everyone? Metallica and her salmon. You can't get wrong. What's going on, Sydney?
Yep.
Odin's beard. Is it true? Is Potts back to save us? Yeah, I don't know about saving nobody, but I'm here.
Finally, yeah.
Saying, hey, Michael messing people up. Great intro.
Yeah, it
Skolder,
came out all
what's
right.
going on? Magic
Skolder,
hands.
what's up?
A lot of haze back and forth. Holland, what's up, everybody? What's going on, Holland?
What's up, Paul?
Tony's in the house. What's up, Tony?
Tony, what's going on, man?
Saying hey to everybody.
I was gonna have Tony on the stream, but it was late, whatever. I'm sure he has all these movies. He may not have seen all these movies.
Oh, I guarantee you has them all.
Yeah.
So
I had surprisingly quite a few in that 25, but definitely not all. I'm sure Johnny probably had the most of the 25, if I had to guess. I think Johnny, what did you say, had 22 out of the 25?
I think I'm only missing like 2 of them. And there's a reason why I'm missing 2 of them.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure.
the one's pre-1940.
Yeah.
But-
Well,
No,
well,
like,
this is
actually-
probably-
Actually, have those. It's
Okay.
like the Polanski and the
Yeah, I had that when I
Found
sold that bitch.
footage bullshit.
But
yeah. There's some interesting picks in there. And we're going to show the releases that we have. I'm sure we all have different releases and, show you what's available and, just kind of talk through each one of them. And I think it'll be fun to just kind of see what the Pinkies Up crowd with their 25. Obviously, this is a list of 100, but if we went through all 100, I mean, this would be a 10-hour stream.
yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt about it. So might as well just go right. And a lot of that stuff in the bottom 75 is random shit from 1951. Weird, very, very obscure titles. I mean, this is just a very sophisticated, educated men that are doing these rankings, and clearly we're not in that club.
and I haven't went through all 100 of them, but I would guess that some of my 25 are in this back 75. But we're not going to go over.
Some like for instance, I glanced through I didn't see like Child's Play anywhere. I didn't see a Friday the 13th movie anywhere.
Which is kind of surprising.
So there's quite a bit of stuff that's not in there that you would think would be in there.
And also, this is supposed to be the best. There's a difference between the best and the greatest.
Yeah, best and
Or
favorite.
best and favorite.
Yeah,
Because everybody's got movies that are their favorite movies, but they know it's not the best movie. We all have horror movies that we love, but we know it's probably not better than The Shining or whatever as far as being a movie,
Yeah.
a good movie. But
Well,
we
I
have
mean,
a love for it. We have an affinity for it. So
I would
it
use
plays a lot
this.
into this.
This is a good example right here. Now, which one of these is your favorite, Alan?
Well, you know which one's my favorite. Psycho 2 all day long.
Which is the better movie, you think?
I still think Psycho 2 is the better movie, but Psycho is more important to the horror community than Part 2 is.
Yeah. See, I would go this is my favorite. This one's the best.
For the
of
time
two.
when Psycho came out, it broke ground. It was
Yeah.
it was what it was. I mean, it's a legend. But for me, I thought Psycho 2 is a better movie.
That's a good argument. I mean, it's still a great movie. I just think, like you were saying, with the landscape and how important this movie was, the whole thing. So, I mean, like I said, that better, best, favorite, best, the whole thing.
And I feel like Psycho would make most people's top 25, where I feel like there's a big crowd of Psycho 2 wouldn't make the top 25 for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. A lot of people didn't see it too. It's like, why? I think a lot of people are just poo-pooed at the idea of having a sequel to Psycho. Why would you even do that? And
it was
without
pretty
even watching
controversial
it?
when it came out. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Very ballsy to make that movie.
But I mean, this is exactly Craig's list. I mean, I guarantee you, his list is exactly the same. And going with number 25, you might agree, but there's no way it would be that low either.
Well, hey, my top 3 are in this top 25.
Yeah, 3 for 25 is not bad.
Yeah, some of my 25 are definitely in this list.
Yeah,
But
yeah, something like that.
not that many. Not that many.
But that'd be funny though.
So should we go and get started with 25 here?
Pop up with the chat.
We got a few
I'm not
more in here.
watching
Let's see
it.
who else popped in here. Damn Dirty Ape, what's going on, man?
So man,
No basket case of Pinky Club?
yep, basket case is not on the list.
Psycho is the better of the two. Psycho is the better of the two, the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's an easier. Yeah.
Psycho 2 is great, but Psycho is my favorite. Going on, Trina.
Trini heard Criterion and he flew
He just
right
rolls
over.
out. My number 1 is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Good
Yep,
pick.
no doubt. All right, we had this. We're going to get started here. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to remember what the hell I'm doing here. Like a monkey fucking a football.
It's been a long time. I mean, it really is.
It has been a long time. You lose a touch for it.
it.
Look at there. Let me get rid of my
Nailed it.
ugly ass logo. All right. So number 25, y'all see there, Scream. Ta-da. No suspense. I already had it on the screen. I should have hit it. But yeah, 25, we got Scream. Craig, you start.
All right. Well, I will say, what a treat it is to have my number 1 in number 25 on this list. But I will say about Scream is that this is the first movie that actually got me into slashers when I was a kid. It came out right around the time when I was in like second or third grade. I obviously didn't get to catch it in theaters, but I saw it when I was on HBO. And from the moment I saw that opening scene of, the opening call with Drew Barrymore and the double murder right there, and just that being like a short film in itself, like the opening just shocked the hell out of me. But I was addicted to that movie from start to finish the whole time, and ended up just loving it. And I was obsessed with it. I got the Ghostface costume as a kid, and saw every movie after that, and just became a really big Ghostface fan. Had the VHS that I pretty much wore out, and then I of course got the DVD. I think the Blu-rays came out in like 2011, right around like when the fourth movie was about to come out. And the Blu-ray transfers kind of looked like crap, to be honest. They just didn't look that well. They were a Lionsgate release. And then when the fourth movie came out, there was a rights issue because the Weinstein Company sold Scream 4 to Anchor Bay, and Paramount or what was it? Lionsgate still had the rest. So you couldn't get a full set of those movies. But if you were smart enough in the beginning to order from Canada, you could get the original Wes Craven quadrilogy on Blu-ray to get all four together without there being a rights issue. So this was released by Alliance. It's a French-Canadian release. You can get 1, 2, 3, and 4 in here. It's the only way at the time that you could get the 4 together. And these transfers, the same transfers as the Lionsgate ones, so not bad. But then 2021 was when this came out in 4K. One that we're all waiting on. And funnily enough, mine actually came with a clear Blu-ray case. I don't know if anyone got that.
Steelbook.
Mine didn't come with a black 4K case.
Is that the one you had signed?
No, the remake is the one I got signed. The newer one.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. This was when they released the Steelbook here when they started doing that.
Craig, you got the Steelbook too, man.
I got the Steel too. It's somewhere in a tote like you have behind you. I got a tote too, full of stuff. But the ones that are like in reach are, obviously the slip.
You got to have the sticker though. You got to have the sticker on it because there's slips.
I got the sticker.
People freak out about that. If it has the sticker on, oh my god!
I was really surprised.
In the case, by the way.
I was really surprised it came with a clear DVD. It was a clear Blu-ray case. It didn't have the black 4K case.
Yeah, that's weird.
So yeah, the original pressing has a Blu-ray case.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, that's cool. I got one of the originals. But Paramount. So Lionsgate ended up losing the rights to this when the Weinstein thing happened. They sold off their catalog. Paramount bought, I think, 60% of that catalog, maybe more. And Scream was in that part of the deal that they bought. So Paramount did ended up releasing the 1, 2, and 3, and then they obviously released the 5th and 6th movie in theaters. And 4 is still with Lionsgate now, which Lionsgate bought out Anchor Bay. So, but yeah, so hopefully 4 will get on 4K within a year or two. I hope, Lionsgate's really holding on to those Weinstein properties. They won't license them out to anybody for some reason.
It'd be a cool steelbook.
Yeah, I think they would have a slip on it too. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, if you want the definitive editions, I mean, if you want the Wes Craven originals, you can get this from Canada. Trying to find a slip on this version is very scarce now because this is from 2011, I believe, when they put this out. And even these are starting to become hard to find the slips for these. So if you can get these 2 editions of Scream, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, the transfer on this looks beautiful. So if you haven't watched from start to finish, check it out, please. It's worth your money. So,
well, yeah. in the chat, and obviously we're going to talk about it, but does this deserve to be in the top 25?
It deserves to be in the top 5.
Would this be in everybody's top 25?
It would be in my top 25. It would be in my top 25.
I think it's very.
I really like the movie, but I also think this movie was very important when it came out because I feel like it kind of brought slashers back. And I feel like, the kids that are younger than us that was introduced to slashers with this movie probably went back and watched some of our shit. Then maybe they wouldn't have done that.
That was me, Pops.
So, this movie here kind of brought the slashers back in the 90s. So I think it's an important movie. And plus, I really enjoy the first one. So, it would. I'm not sure where in my top 25, but it would be in my top 25. Closer to the back.
What about you, Johnny? Did you see it in the theaters when you were like, it was our age? It was a big hype movie back then.
Yeah, I
It
think
like
I was
everybody
I think I was in
talking about
ninth grade when that first rolled out. I think I actually rented that on pay per view. Remember, like when pay per view movies are like $8 or $9 if you were sitting
Yeah.
at home watching them.
Yeah.
That was way back in the day.
It was like
That's
an
still-
MTV movie almost, like Varsity Blues. It was like those. It was like an MTV style movie with the soundtrack and the cast and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably be in my 25, somewhere near the bottom. But it's just like what Alan said. It's the fact that I believe it is just it's a very important in the landscape of horror movies. It's very important. It did a lot.
Mhm.
It brought a lot of movies
No.
back, and it spawned a ton of clones to this that were good. The Faculty, you name it, a bunch of other Kevin Williamson projects.
Mhm.
Now I will say that there's some movies on this list that we're going to get to that I understand the importance of them, but I don't like, and definitely wouldn't be in my top 25. On the flip side of that, there's a movie in my top 25 that ain't important worth the fuck. They could never be made. It wouldn't fucking matter. And
Yeah.
they have no history that really matters, like this one or Psycho or whatever. Take
Yeah.
they're still in my top 25.
And I will say to this day, I've still never seen a movie that had the effect on me that the opening of Scream had. Like I've never seen another opening that tops that.
Yeah.
That
It was
just made me feel like, whoa, holy
for
shit.
the time. I believe the first movie that used cell phones like that, for the serial killer and all that. But
Mhm.
definitely killing off Drew Barrymore in the opening. It's been done before. I mean, Psycho, obviously, that was another big one with what's her name from the original Psycho?
Janet Leigh.
Her death. That was a surprise. But I mean, Johnny, I don't know if I heard you or not, but do you think this would make your top 25?
Absolutely not.
No, wouldn't make it.
No. I can tell you why. Like as much as I do love that movie, this is going to sound like very narcissistic and very much like a dickhead, but I will say that there's two movies in the past 4 or 5 years that YouTubers have definitely not helped in any way whatsoever, and one of those
I
is
get it.
Scream. And the other one, I mean, you guys can guess it. What is it?
Oh boy.
Halloween.
No,
I mean,
The Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's another one. I was going to
Yeah.
say like Halloween 3. You remember Halloween? Like Halloween 3 used to be like obscure. Like people that knew that actually saw it, like would go, that's actually a good movie. You're missing it. You're just the title, whatever. And then it was everywhere for like Spirit Halloween, all that stuff. And now it switched to Killer Clowns last year,
Yeah.
the last few years, and then now it's Terrifier, I guess. But
It almost feels like
yeah.
it turns into something else that's not even really what it was originally, right? Kind of feels like it's tainted a little bit where you're like, damn.
It's
Like
just
if a
too
blind
much.
person was like, who had never seen it before, they actually go watch the movie and they'd be like, well, I heard this guy like talking about it, but I think I might have fucked up and watched the wrong movie. It's like, no, you watched the right movie. It's just the hype is way too far. But yeah, as far as bringing slashers back, 100%, I believe that. I'll give it it's fucking credit for that.
I mean, Wes Craven has done, a lot of stuff. Hills Have Eyes. What's the Last House on the Left? Nightmare on Elm Street. It's kind of his last great project. Really, kind of the end of an era for him. I mean, he's done other stuff, but I mean, obviously, that I don't think he ever reached the heights of Scream again.
No.
But let's catch up with the chat before we move on to number 24. Everybody saying hey to Trini, Scourge of the Community, Scalder, saying what's up. Yeah. See, he says, listen, he wasn't going to be here. He just was casually rolled in.
Yep.
I talked to him he knew about the stream. I talked to him about it yesterday. But
Credits
for
rolled and he
people-
was like, perfect timing. It's just coincidence.
It's just coincidence that it just happened to work out that way. We're just saying, what's up? Sydney Screams okay, 2 out of 5. Wow, that's a hard. Listen, it just depends on. I think there is. Like, if you watch it back today, I still like it. I own it. I'm happy to own it. I don't think it holds up as well as like what Johnny was saying. Like some of these YouTubers pretend it does. Like for instance, the scene in the video store with Matthew Lillard and Jamie Kennedy. Just watch that scene alone. It's rough. It's rough. They're screaming at each other. There's, it's just very weird choices with the dialogue. Plus, everybody looks about 38 years old. And after seeing modern movies today, where they actually put young people in movies now, that part also kind of a little bit takes you out of it. But I think it still holds up, and I think it has its place either way.
Especially with the you hit me with the phone, you dick. I mean, it's like the funniest scene ever in a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like every time I see that show, I'm just waiting for it.
Matthew Lillard is enormous, and he looks like a grown ass man. He looks like he's 40 in the movie. He's pretty bad. I don't know. His partner is pretty bad as far as the age thing. They look very old, at least again. To me, it's also part of maybe we saw it when we were much younger, so they looked older anyway. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trainee's excited that Scalder came out with a 5 out of 5. Trainee's saying it's 2.5 out of 5. Hall and Oates says not sure about 25, but definitely 50, or top probably 50. And that's another thing. Alan and I talked about it being important. If you were to put together the 25 most important horror films, that would definitely be on it. I mean, things but something like Saw, I think, would also be on it, because Saw also was one of those, bridge movies that carried people over into the new style. So I don't know. It's a weird one at 25, but believe me, it's the least weird one of the ones we're gonna fucking look at. All right, Wrangler says 19 Scream for him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hearing mixed things about Terrifier 3. I heard it's better than 2. Any of you guys seen it?
I saw it on Sunday.
How was it?
It's pretty, like, the gore is pretty good. It's not really a lot of jump scares. I think it just relies more on like the gross out stuff. But it was cool to have the Christmas feel to it. I love my Christmas slashers, so that was a nice little treat. But there's a lot of times where the movie drags. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. It didn't need to be that long. They could have made that movie a 90-minute movie just to get right to the point. But
is this going to be something you pick up?
I think I'll wait for a sale. Like, I won't pick up the first or second one, but I think 3 is actually a fun Christmas time watch.
Yeah, but you're kind of a sucker for Christmas.
I am a Christmas slasher whore.
Extreme featurette. Scream was cool because of references to the horror movies. Kind of the meta part, wouldn't make her top 100. There you go. You're saying, hey, Trini, you just got to come on here. It all goes away. All right, I think we're ready for 24.
All right, let me see.
I promise that will be the longest one, just because of what it is and who we have here.
Just so you know, Scream 7 starts filming in February 2025.
And with what's her name back?
Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox returning. Jenna Ortega and Melissa Brer are out. Kevin Williamson, the writer of the first, second, and fourth movie, is returning as director. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do with it. Like, he could have something, totally out of left field. We'll see.
We'll find out in a year.
All right, moving on to 24 here. And we got Blair Witch Project. Very divisive film. I didn't realize how many people hate this fucking film. I love this film. But there's a lot of people that hate this movie.
Oh, yeah. Big time hate for that one.
And I will say that's not no bitch in that picture is a whore. She's a total waste of fucking oxygen is what she is.
We don't know.
I heard that convention and she is the biggest bitch. And I hate that I paid $40 for a fucking autograph.
She's a whore.
We did the panel about 2 hours after I got the autograph, and I can't tell you how bad she was in the panel. It was bad. Everybody was talking about it. They handed her the microphone to answer her question, and she just pushed the microphone away. She didn't want to talk. She started drinking her coffee with a real bitchy look on her face. Didn't say a fucking word the whole time. So, the other two guys in the movie, they were cool. They couldn't stop fucking talking. But you can tell she didn't want to be there. But
I'm glad this was on the list just for this to come up again.
I could go on. I'm telling you, man, I was sitting by Ryan. Me and Ryan looking at each other going, "What the fuck?" It was bad, dude.
We don't know what was going on behind the scenes there. Somebody didn't get paid enough or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, one thing, they all blame this movie for ruining their career. Because they had to use their real names or something like that. And I don't know. There was some story about it, basically, that you got to read about it. They hate this movie because they blame this movie for kind of ruining their career, which really this is kind of what they're known for. You know,
without this movie, they would be nobody.
Right. But you figure they'd have a big affinity for it, would want to talk about it, want to get it back out there. But she had no interest at all. But the director, those two guys, you can't say enough good things about them, but not her. But yeah, this movie here, like I said, I think this is a very important movie because found footage. This kind of started it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was what kind of blew it up. You get a movie for little money, made a ton of fucking money, and everybody that had a fucking $5,000 wanted to make one. You know. But
yeah, we had Cannibal Holocaust before this.
Yeah,
but that was a long time ago, and this was the one that really set the craze off. That started the boom and brought hundreds of millions of dollars to the industry. You know, your Paranormal Activities, you know, what have you.
Yeah. The biggest thing was Cannibal Holocaust didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
And this movie here used the internet like nobody ever has before. Well, really, the internet was new then, but they really used the internet to make everybody think, is this real or not? You know? And even though I kind of knew it wasn't real, you really didn't know for sure until you see them on the fucking Johnny Carson show.
The viral marketing was another big thing, you know, with this. It was the pioneer of the viral marketing, you know, stuff that's popular today.
But this I don't think, but I'd have to think about it. I don't think this will make my top 25. It may, but I don't think it would make my top 25.
This is you had a steelbook of this, right? That you had them guys sign.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking find it. That's what I was trying to find. So I got the one from Walmart that came out earlier this year.
$300 collector's item.
Yeah, Brian was nice enough to find me one of the out of print steelbooks from it was a Zombie exclusive. That's when I got signed by. But it's in here somewhere. I gotta fucking find it, but I couldn't find it. That's why I went away for a minute. But I got this cheapie from Walmart. Ain't cheap. It's a nice steelbook. You know, you got the image on the inside, the wanted poster or the missing poster.
And that's the sequel, the Blair Witch and the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, nothing wrong with this steelbook. The other steelbook's a lot nicer though. It's got the original poster art on the steelbook. It's really nice.
Yeah. I assumed it was going to come to 4K, and I just never upgraded my DVD, and I don't even know where it is. So I imagine Second Sight's doing a Blu-ray of it, but I assume there'd be a 4K somewhere. But,
I don't think this movie need the 4K, or can they really do a 4K the way they should?
Yeah, but I mean,
you know,
just because it doesn't need it doesn't mean they won't do it.
True.
I mean, the consensus. I mean, Johnny, do you think this would make your top 25? Do you think it deserves to be in the top 25?
Whenever I checked with you to make sure we was going to start at number 25 and go to 1, the first thing I saw was Scream, and then that followed, and I was like, God, this Scream is going to start out very disappointing for me. So, yeah, I didn't even. I was like, okay, well, the only copy of that movie I actually have to pull is like up in my attic, and I'm not going to go dust off that artisanal 1999 DVD. So
that's the one I got. What about you, Craig? Do you think this deserves to be in the top 25?
No, not at all. I mean, I will say when I first watched it, it definitely like made me use my imagination. Like you're wondering the whole time, are they going to show the witch? What's the witch look like and shit like that? So that was kind of cool. It kind of kept you hooked. But
Kept you on the edge of the seat.
I just left the movie kind of unsatisfied. I will say the ending kind of creeped me out with the guy in the corner at the end and screaming and the camera falls over. I thought that kind of had an effect on me, but like other than that, I didn't care to watch it again.
Her performance, screaming and all that, you know, and then her going quiet. Yeah, I wouldn't say it would be in the top 25. I think a lot of this, some of these earlier ones are kind of they're weighing the importance of the movie against the quality of the movie. It's an important movie, but I don't think it should be in the. I wonder what the chat's saying if they think it should be in the.
I just wanted to see what the witch looked like, and you never got to see it.
Yeah. You know, from a studio mentality too, they could rank these movies wherever they want to put them. But at the end of the day, from the studio standpoint, is they took like a little bit of cash and they made like this shit was on the news all the time about how much money this shit was pulling in every week. So
yeah,
they made, I mean, hundreds of millions of dollars for basically nothing, like pennies on the dollar, basically.
I wonder what they got paid. The three that made it. Like, I mean, they obviously, I'm sure they sold it, to whoever put it out. They sold the movie. So I wonder if they got paid any kind of back end whatsoever, or it was just they thought it was going to be this little thing and it took off. And this was another big hype. Everybody was talking about it, similar to Scream, type of thing. So yeah, who knows? What's the chat saying about it? The chat saying it should be in the 25.
Let's go through it real quick, see what we got. Sadie says Blair Witch Project, good movie, 3 out of 5. Not great, but good. Haven't seen the Blair Witch Project since it came out. 2.5 out of 5. Chris says, remember when it came out and some people thought it was real?
Oh yeah, a lot of that going on.
Scolder just said not a fan. Man Witch didn't even make my 1,000 list. Yeah, Chris agrees. Wild Runs possibly needed Blair Witch 2 needed to be on that Walmart steelbook. I agree.
Book Shadows, yeah.
I do have that fucking thing coming. Who's putting it out? Second Sight?
Second Sight.
That's gonna have. I believe that was gonna have part 2 on it.
I think it's just
But there's a release coming out that's got part 2 on it. I believe.
Maybe it's Umbrella.
Maybe.
Somebody in the chat will know. Tony will know.
Yeah, Blair Witch 1999, number 32.
Oh.
That's in a 0. When Blair Witch came out, I never thought I'd be nearly 40 listening to some guy online talk about its importance in film history. Well, when I say importance in film history, if she's talking about me, whatever, I mean, like I said, it does hold a placeholder. This is kind of what the fucking craze for.
I brought on the found footage, and that's definitely important for the industry to make tons of money off of its wake.
And there's some people don't give a shit about that. Some people hate found footage movies, no matter what it is.
But they always do well in the theaters. That's the important thing. They make a lot of money.
So let's go ahead and go to 23. Does anybody want to show the release? I already showed mine. Anybody else got anything in it?
I don't have it. I don't think Craig's got it.
We're going to move on to 23 then. All right, 23, Dawn of the Dead. I thought there'll be more nice things said about it from some people.
Mm-hmm.
Now I had that big ass chunky box set, whatever, that I sold for. That's how I financed my chainsaw. But I did get this version here, which is a really nice version.
The thin one.
It's got everything I needed. I didn't need the book or the soundtrack.
Yeah.
All that shit, whatever. So really nice version. It's still a hard box. So
I mean, it's still 4 discs or whatever. I mean,
this is really all I need. I'm never gonna look at any of that other shit. If this would have been the nicest release they came out with, I'd have been thrilled with it. And when I see how much other stuff was going for, and I wanted that chainsaw, it made sense. So,
sequel to Night of the Living Dead. I'm curious to hear what Craig's got to say about this one, because this seems like I can't even imagine him getting all the way through this. And he's a Philly guy.
No, I had the old Anchor Bay release of Dawn of the Dead. Never really into the zombie genre as much as everyone else. Like, I like Return of the Living Dead, but I'm not really a zombie guy. But I thought that helicopter scene always just sticks out in my mind, where it flops off the top of the guy's head. Like, I still remember that. But yeah, I never really bothered to get the second sight, because I'm still hoping that Scream Factory will acquire the rights in the U.S. I know that like Second Sight's the definitive edition, but I'm really hoping Richard Rubenstein just decides to be nice one day and just says, "Okay, Scream Factory, you guys can do it."
That likely to happen, Johnny.
That's probably it'll happen the same exact time that Scream Factory gets all the Nightmare on Elm Street box set together. The same exact time.
Same day.
Yep.
I said this before. I think Anchor Bay should be actively pursuing that. They're trying to make a name for themselves. They should be trying to do the US 4K. And do a deal with him where he gets a big piece of what they sell or something. Instead of every unit that we sell, you get X amount of dollars, and it's a bigger number than you're used to or something, and really try and come out swinging instead of doing these weird puppet movies that they're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I might be in the minority, but I think Day of the Dead is a lot better than Dawn of the Dead. I just like that one. Like, it just flows better. It's I guess faster paced movie for me.
I think a lot of people say that. I mean,
I do like
Yawn of the Dead. is super slow, and the zombies look pretty bad. I mean, listen, it's dated. Those were the times, whatever. But that black and white and night really covered, how shitty they looked. Dawn, they probably should have made this black and white too to cover it up. But I mean, Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, this one here definitely is not my favorite in the franchise by no means. I'm gonna step over this movie to watch the remake every day.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this movie. I've seen it many times, and I know there's people on the internet that they'll fucking fight you over this movie.
Yeah,
They're violent about it, and
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand why this movie has such a big following. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the movie. I mean, hell, I bought that fucking box set day one. But it's not one that I go back and watch very often. If I'm going to watch a zombie movie, this usually is not the one I go after to watch. For the main reason is all the silly shit that's in it. And it's just the zombies look terrible. I understand it was the time, whatever, but there's just so many other zombie movies that I enjoy more. So if I get to watch a zombie movie, this usually ain't what I go after.
There's zombie movies around the same time that have look way better. I mean, and you had Tom Savini on it. I don't know. It's just strange that they don't look better. And the weird, like I say, look at that picture. They painted their face kind of like purple. I don't know. Just strange. And after seeing all the stuff that's came after it, I mean, it's hard to go back at this and not think it's dated. But something like Night of the Living Dead, I don't feel that same way about. I think that black and white covers a lot of it. But I don't know. I wouldn't put it to my 25. It probably wouldn't make my top 100. But that's me. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely would make my top 25 for sure. Probably not my top 50 either.
No,
Maybe top 100.
not even in the top 100.
What about you, Johnny? You got the big set?
Yeah, I mean, of course, just like Night of the Living Dead, we know the important significance of that movie and everything. And like you said, I mean, I couldn't say anything more than what you added, except for if you really want to disappoint yourself and you think that cut's bad of the film, which theatrical or unrated cut, watch the Argento cut, and you'll definitely hate that movie.
Yeah, fuck Dario Argento. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He butchered that movie. His cut is terrible. You know that scene you were talking about, Craig, with the helicopter cutting the head off?
Yeah.
Argento took that out of the movie.
So I guess, Johnny, you might know more about this than everybody else, but why did Argento get directing rights and over like Romero? What was that about? Why are there two different directors on
The
this?
producer.
It was a territorial thing because Argento had convinced Romero back in the day that the way he used comedy and the way he edited his films wouldn't hit with like the British audience or the audience in Italy. So of course Romero just befriended him immediately while they were doing this movie and gave him full control over saying like, here, I'm going to give you the freedom to do your own cut and let's see how it works. And believe it or not, like that cut actually did do pretty good. So, but watching it today though is like, ooh, it's like it's like a zombie Monty Python movie. It feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like there's like a lot of similarities hitting there.
Yeah.
I believe he's the producer. I don't know. I don't know enough about the story, but I thought Argento also produced it after seeing Night of the Living Dead and wanted more zombie stuff.
But yeah, 100% though. I mean, like I said, we know the important significance of that movie, and plus, of course, Night of the Living Dead, which started it all. But Day of the Dead fires on all cylinders. That movie should be in place of this one, hands down.
Yeah.
Goblins soundtrack,
Yeah. All right. Cindy says 2.5 out of 5 on Dawn of the Dead. I'm not a fan of zombies. Okay.
There you go.
Chris C, what's going on, buddy? Even Jets in chat at work, but dropped in and say, hey, appreciate it, man. People saying hey to Chris. Scholar said Dawn of the Dead 78, 2 out of 5. Got the second side big box for free.
It's always a scam with you.
No, that stuff was pretty expensive too when it first came out. That was like $160 when it out.
Dawn of the Dead number 21. Alan says never watched the Goblin cut. Hey to Chris. That's more of that. John, if I remember correctly, I think you ended up finding me a copy of that big box set back in the day.
Yeah, it was remember like right after the hype of that and they all sold out and everything, Diabolic actually they came back and was like, hey, we got like 100 sets, but it's first come, first serve. It's going to hit at noon. And I remember me and you just sitting right there at 11:59, like refreshing the page that day.
Uh,
I was in the dentist office. And I'm like, hold on, man. Like, I got to buy this before you pull my teeth.
Pull that shit out of my mouth. Let's go. I got to order the box set.
we got one more. My youngest kid here's Sir Groovy Bear. Hey fellas, happy Friday. Everyone's doing well. What's up, Adam? And we're going to see me and him and Dr. Ordinary and his wife's going to see Smile 2 tomorrow night. So I watched Smile 1 today, man. I did enjoy that movie quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to Smile 2. Anybody seen that yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
I like the first one.
I like the first one a lot. I watched it today, and like I said, it holds up, and it's I like it a little more every time I watch it. So, all right, we're gonna go on to number 22 then. Caught up in the chat. I'll mark some of this. All right.
What I do like about this movie that never comes up is at the very. I like the stuff before they get to the mall. When they're in the helicopter and they get to the mall, I like them trying to get society back together, and the militias forming and people getting hammered and shooting zombies. I love that stuff. But when they get to the mall, might as well just turn it off for me. It just crawls.
All right, I know nothing about this movie, Carnival of Souls.
1962. Johnny, is this
Yeah, if
just
you
a
want
criteria?
to, during the Criterion sale, if you want to waste $20, this movie's equivalent to watching old people fuck slow and sloppy.
One of a kind, shoestring Jim. What the hell? $33,000. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this, so I've never even heard of it before. So this looks like a Trini type movie. This looks like something he would be into.
The reason why it sticks out so much is everybody, as soon as this movie gets brought up, there's a sequence in this movie where it's almost like a fever dream in black and white, but they're like at this carnival and there's this carousel scene. It always gets brought up. And I think that's really the only significance this movie probably has on most people because, I mean, right from the get-go, the film kind of opens up. You see a car wreck. Did somebody actually die or not? Is it a ghost going through the whole film? There's a lot of questions kind of, but you get so bored with it where you're like, I don't even really give a shit about the payoff in the end. I was really surprised that Joe Bob Briggs, at all people, chose that movie for the last drive-in because that shit was painful to get through.
Yeah. I guarantee you Craig has not seen this movie or will never see it. I have no interest in this. But, now that Johnny talks about that scene, I've barely heard of it. Alan, I don't think you've seen this one.
No, I haven't seen it. I have no interest.
I remember seeing like a DVD of like a remake that said Wes Craven presents Carnival of Souls. It was like in the 90s. I think he did he produced a remake or something. It's like
that sounds familiar. I know there's a Carnival movie out. I don't know. Does anybody in the chat know anything about it?
Yeah, like Wes Craven did one, and he didn't direct it, but he produced it or something. It was in the 90s, but it's not really that well known.
I don't think I watched the trailer. You guys seen this trailer, Wolfman?
Oh, I don't think I have.
I'll tell you that Street Trash trailer is pretty good.
It
Where
is.
you make Street Trash.
I'm saying he's excited about Smile 2. Trent says 2 out of 5. That's more like you, Scolder. Never seen you give a 5. I can't remember. Carnival Souls number 11.
Wow. Yeah.
Carnival Souls 1.5 out of 5. Not a fan. Trent says Carnival is not a top 25 movie, and yes, I do own it, Brad.
There you go. I knew it. So I saw that Criterion. See, I knew it.
It was awesome watching Romulus with you, Brad. How are y'all's thoughts on that now that it has some time to settle?
I still hated it, and I haven't seen it again, but I will see it again and give it the old college try. But I was not a fan, and
I've told myself I'm not going to talk shit about it until I watch it a second time. I got a feeling I'll still talk about it after that.
Probably a better way to go.
All right. Coach Trini, if only I had ratings of my watches on that site like Letterboxd.
Yeah, Scalder's on Letterboxd is what he's saying. He's very active on there. He watches like 400 movies a day.
All right. Well, Johnny's the only one that had Carnival of Souls, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving to 21. Black Sunday.
Mario Bava. Okay.
I actually own this movie.
Now I get these mixed up. This is the one that opens with the Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. This is pretty good.
Well, there's another one with a blimp hits the fucking Super Bowl. That's called Black Sunday too. And that's the one that Johnny recommended. I got that movie. He said, "What the fuck is that? That ain't what I told you to get." I think it was called Black Sunday.
It's that Kino release, man. That's a completely different movie.
At least it's the same name. I remember I recommended the Clovich Killer to you, and you watched the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Poughkeepsie tapes. Now, this movie ain't that great, Brad.
Not even close.
Old age is a bitch, y'all. Y'all get there. Y'all wait.
You seen this one, Craig?
Nope.
Have you seen this one, Alan?
I have not.
Johnny, what's the general plot behind this movie?
All right, so pretty much Barbara Steele's character, she's being accused of being a witch at the very beginning of the film. And of course, before they put her in the Iron Maiden and kill her in a really gruesome, fucking awesome way, especially for this movie being from 1960. It's very gothic horror, by the way. If you like the music of like Typo Negative or something like that, this is like the perfect movie for you. But anyway, before they kill her, she puts like a curse on anybody who's in the gene line for the person who's putting her to death. And as the movie plays out, they're in this castle where her tomb is kept at. Like her crypt is like pretty much hidden in a wall. And I don't want to give away like everything of it. I'm sure most people have probably seen this who's interested in it. But it's definitely if you're definitely like into like a witchy kind of gothic movie and you don't mind black and white movies, this would be like the number one witch movie. I would say definitely go back because it's a masterpiece, 100%.
The opening, just watch the opening. If that you're not into that opening, then just don't watch it. But hard to watch that opening and not want to see more. It's a solid, one of the best openings ever. I think it's a great sequence. But yeah, I don't know, Mario Bava. I think this is the only one on the list. I mean, are there any other Mario Bavas you think should be in this 25, or do you think this should be in the top 25?
Man, I don't know about top 25, but I mean, Bay of Blood did change a lot of shit for cinema.
There's a lot of movies,
like slasher in general. So
a lot of movies ripped off Bay of Blood.
Absolutely, but yeah, man, Black Sunday is. I don't know, man. Maybe like 40 years from now, I might be like, yeah, like I've seen that movie so many times. I don't know, like it's just, but I highly doubt it, man. Like if somebody was like, hey, man, like I want to watch something gothic. I don't mind like old school shit, like black and white. I'd be like, whew, I know the perfect movie for you.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's a winner. So I don't know if it should be in the top 25, but it's definitely probably Bava's best.
There's a commentary track, of course, since Barbara Steele is horrible at English. They actually have a translator helping her do the commentary track, and she talks about the opening sequence with the Iron Maiden and the rating system that Bava had to go through. Like that scene, definitely. I don't know how many times he had to edit that sequence. Yeah, like that almost didn't exist.
I can see that.
Yeah, I need to check it out. I've never seen it. So I can't say it'd be my top 25 because I've never seen it. So
I'm surprised it's not like a Criterion 4K. I think it's just an Arrow release.
It is, man. And this would too, man. Like this is definitely like, I mean, this is like part of Criterion's jack off closet for fucking film addicts. Like,
that's it. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the Kino release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one I have. All right, moving on. Well, let's see what people said about Black Sunday before we move on here. They're talking about Romulus right now, 2 out of 5. My list wouldn't be on this top 25.
Well, it'll be like an all Korean movie list.
I'm not saying Black Sunday. If it's anything like the sequel Blue Monday, it sucks. Not saying Black Sunday.
Give it a shot.
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath is great. Bava's. So it's a great. Jesus Christ, I forgot the anthology. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Number 20. We got Get Out. A lot more modern movie. I know that Brad. I have this movie too. I didn't pull this on the show. It's just a basic bitch slipcover edition, nothing fancy. Yeah, I know that Brad's not the big fan of this movie, although I'm sure he's going to speak about it. But I actually didn't mind this movie. This is my favorite out of his movies.
There you go.
So I don't go back and watch it hardly ever. I think I've seen it twice. once in theaters, once after I got the 4K, and I don't see myself rewatching it that much. I didn't hate it, but like I said, all his movies are just kind of middle of the road for me. But out of the three, this is my favorite of the three, I think. But I've also I still hadn't seen the fucking, what's it called? Nope. I fell asleep in the fucking theater. So I'm assuming that's not going to be my favorite. And Us, whatever, I watched it at once. I kind of want to see Us again. But Get Out, when I first watched it, I did enjoy it more than Us. But that ain't saying it's definitely not my top 25 by no means. Probably wouldn't make my top 100. So
it wouldn't make my top 1,000. But Craig, what do you think of Get Out? I know you probably saw it in theaters, right?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. Ended up picking up the 4K. Did have the Blu-ray, and then right after I bought the Blu-ray, the 4K came out. I'm like, all right, I'll ditch it and get the 4K.
Mhm.
Brad, as you always say, like the 4K is just another reason to ditch the Blu-ray out the door. So
I think it comes with Blu-ray anyway. So,
but yeah, I will say this is pretty decent for. It's more of a. Would you say it's more of a thriller than an actual horror, or would you say it's horror?
I don't know. I mean, it's horror for the audience that has to watch the fucking thing. You know?
Yeah, I thought it was a really like original concept out of Jordan Peele. Like
But it's not original. There's 2 or 3 movies that he ripped off for that movie. What's that? Moralizer for one. Moralizer, it's almost the same thing. Skeleton Key, it's almost the same thing. He's just a fucking hack and a piece of shit. But continue, Craig. Don't let me fucking.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was. It kept me locked in. I'm like, wait, what are they doing with all these people? Like, what's this auction about to take place? What is going on here?
Mhm.
The whole time they're setting it up. I mean, like I guess that's the whole twist and everything. But like, they're setting up this family just to be like a really nice people, and like they're really welcoming to the character of Chris. And the whole time I'm thinking like, oh shit, maybe the parents are messed up and the girlfriend's really like a good girl. And then come to find out at the end when he's like, give me the keys. And she's just like, I can't give you the keys, right? I'm like, oh shit. That was kind of cool. A little cool twist, but yeah, I thought it was pretty neat.
You want to go into the plot of Get Out, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get some shit for this, man, but I really do like this movie a lot, man.
There you go.
I just recently watched Nope for the first time, and I know everybody hates that fucking movie, but I actually like that movie a lot too. So I don't know. One Trick Pony to me, yeah, kind of, but at least it entertained me enough to keep my ass in the seat and go, what the hell is about to happen next? So the worst thing you could do in a movie is bore me. So did a pretty good job because I've actually rewatched that movie right there probably at least 3 or 4 times now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Should this be in the top 25?
It's probably like, especially too, like Craig brought up like that really good scene of that twist for her, like she's digging through the purse and you're thinking like, oh man, like holy shit, maybe she's gonna help him out, and then she kind of flips the script on him. But I love too whenever he comes back in from smoking and the mother like puts his ass in the sunken place so quick. That scene to me was just like, whoa, like what the hell's going on with this flick? I was one of those who didn't watch the trailer, didn't spoil anything, so that kind of probably helped my first time viewing it. And I was like, damn, like this is a hell of a twist right here. But yeah, like top 20 or top 100 movies, this definitely wouldn't make it on my list. But like I said, I love the hell out of that movie though.
Did anybody notice that they're going to harvest these young black people's bodies to put their dead parents' brains in and then use them as servants? Like grandpa is the goddamn groundskeeper, the matriarch of the family. Grandma's the maid. Like, I don't know. That's just like, that's what you want to do? Why does grandpa got to be the groundskeeper now? That I don't know. It was just everything about it's weird. It's a weird movie, like it's a movie about liberals. This isn't like a hot take. They come out and say that they're liberals and they want to transplant family members' brains into young black people's bodies so they can be black and young, and they'll do this every so often. But it's like they get dementia. How does that work? You put in the same
That's a
brain
good question.
in a body, it's still going to have dementia, even if you could do it. I don't know. I hate this movie. I hate people that champion this movie like these Criterion snobs, like it's the best movie ever. I'm not saying there aren't fun kills and it's an interesting movie, but it's not anything special in my opinion whatsoever.
My biggest question about that movie is how the hell does silent bingo work in that movie? Because every time I watch that movie, I'm like, all right, like what's the fucking rules here, and how does this work with the sign language and shit?
What is this stuff? I don't know. I just doesn't. But yeah, I doubt this would be in anyone's top 100. This is a they're saying something putting this here at number 20. In my opinion, this is like whatever, some cultural thing.
It'd be in Trinity's top 50.
That's surprising.
Johnny, I saw a meme of the two the main stars of the movie when they went to like they took a picture together at like the Nope premiere, and somebody made a meme out of it, said she still hasn't given them keys yet.
Now, I personally, I think the original. You guys know that you guys know about the alternate ending for this movie?
Yes.
Yeah, the alternate ending I think would have worked a lot better. It would have made a lot more profound statement, or something, you know. But I won't go in. I won't spoil it. If anybody has seen the alternate ending, check out the alternate ending.
You hit the nail on the head though, like for sure. And we could probably all agree to this to some extent, but that movie was put there on that list for exactly the reason why you're thinking it got put there.
Yeah. Yep. And listen, I plan on watching it someday. Again, I have it here. I think I paid $3.99 for this 4K. One day I will definitely rewatch it, but maybe I'll like it better the second. I had a horrible first time theater experience with this. Enough said. But I like Johnny. I like Nope a lot better than this, and I don't really like Nope very much. So that should tell you. I don't like.
And Us for me is definitely the favorite out of the bunch. I was going to ask there before we moved on to the next movie. Has anybody watched Jordan Peele's The Twilight Zone episodes? Because I'm kind of really interested to go down that rabbit hole now. Because I've not seen one of them.
Those are actually really good. There's some of those episodes are fantastic. So
oh shit.
My son got me on those last Christmas when he came home. We sat and watched 5 or 6 of them. They're pretty good.
Was it season 1 that you watched?
Yeah.
Because I think there's like 2 seasons now in total. I just didn't know if that was like if that was still running or they canceled that or.
I think it's over with. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'll tell you the first season for sure is definitely worth watching. So, all right, let's see. Holland says Get Out is not making it. Get Out, decent movie, 2 out of 5. Get Out's the 3.5 out of 5. It's okay. Says Scolder. If not, already seen that. It's going to be in this top 50. Get Out's number 20 for Wild Wrangler. That's high.
Yeah.
And what are the rules?
The cultural rules, the virtue signaling rules. There you go. They had to put this in here.
Yeah. All right.
Commenting on that silent bingo shit.
Listen, this movie does it 1,000 times better. 100,000 times. This is a great movie. This movie kicks that movie's ass, in my opinion, and it's the same message. You know.
How was the one that Jordan Peele produced?
I didn't watch that one.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it a remake for Candyman? I haven't seen it.
Craig, have you seen it? The remake of Candyman?
I was asking if anyone else saw it.
How is it that all 4 of us have not seen that fucking movie?
I think a lot of people haven't seen it. It didn't do very well.
And we all know why Brad held up Candyman really quick to compare it to say, hey, it's such a better film than Get Out, because that's Bernard. Like, that's a white guy who made that movie after all, right?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I don't even know
You're
what
racist.
Jordan Peele is. I don't even know what Jordan Peele is. He's some kind of, I don't know what he is. Was he Cambodian? I don't know
His
what
comedy was killer back in the day, man.
Yeah, he's a comedian. He should go back to like Danny McBride, whatever. Stick to comedy.
Come on, man. Damn.
Danny McBride's horror stuff. Come on, I don't want to get into that's a whole other thing.
Need more Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, do that.
All right, moving on to number 19. We got The Mummy. 1932. I do own this movie. It's up on the shelf there. I got the box. But
if I have seen it, it's been 30 years ago. I don't remember anything about it.
I think I seen it back in school back in the day, maybe, but it hadn't been since then. But I did buy the 4K box set of the classic monsters, but which I hadn't really dug through yet. But yeah, 1932. I'm not surprised this is on this list here. It's definitely not on my top. I understand the relevance of these old movies, but it's not going to make my top 100. I'm not going to be fake about my list. It's not gonna make my top list. Probably none of these classic monster movies are gonna make my top 100. Just to be honest.
Craig, you seen this one?
Nah, I grew up with the Brendan Fraser movies.
Yeah, the Mummy. What about this one, Johnny? This is what, Lon Chaney?
Yeah, definitely, man. Of course, this is Universal Monsters. Of course, I just took my Blu-ray out of that set. I didn't get the 4K of this for some reason. I think I got the Best Buy exclusives of like Frankenstein and Dracula and Wolfman. For some reason, I didn't get the Mummy in 4K, which I'm kind of going, what the hell? But Alan, you got that in 4K?
Yeah, I got the let me see which one I hold on.
I'm gonna end up buying shit tonight before this is over. Yeah, I mean, you brought
I'll
it
find
up.
it and I'll show it.
It's like one of those movies you get shown to in school. It's exactly the first time where I got to see it. And like an 8th grade teacher named Miss Dunsmore who let us watch this. And I was always a big fan. I've already seen like Dracula, Frankenstein, all the good Universal monsters, the popular ones beforehand. And yeah, I got to see this in school. And after I saw it in school, ran out and got a VHS of it at the library who just sold it to me. And yeah, it's definitely not like one of my favorite Universal monster movies, but yeah, it's I wouldn't put it in like my top 100, but yeah, man, I mean that the Universal monsters, all those movies made impacts for a lot of people, man. So we can't deny that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like putting them in like the top 20 or top 100 of a list. Yeah, I mean that's debatable, 100%. But
definitely spawned not Creepshow 3. The movie that is Creepshow 3, basically the anthology. What the hell's it called? Darkness? I think you think of what it's called, but there's a mummy segment in that. Obviously, the mummy movies with Brendan Fraser's made about $1 billion, and they definitely come from this, so it definitely has a place of importance. But I've never seen it. I can remember if I have seen it. This definitely, I'm sure, wouldn't make my list even if I had seen it.
I'll give it this too, man. Like especially with Universal, as soon as they rolled out that, because they originally when they rolled out these sets, they took 8 of the Universal monster films and put them in one box, and they gave like this special feature of like what they had to go through to restore the film elements and try to save what they could. And man, like that special feature alone for anybody who loves just to watch the transfer, how they actually do that and clean up the film before they put it disc, that's pretty much worth the price of that alone, man. Because that's a great feature, but
It's a cool feature.
they spent a lot of money on that. But I mean, that's like their bread and butter. Like for so many decades was the Universal monster. So
All right, let's see. You wait on me.
Yeah.
Right. John, there's the first set. It's got the Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera, and Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I think James Wan is remaking The Creature from Black Lagoon right now.
Really nice looking sets there. So,
oh yeah, man,
Yes,
I'm gonna end up buying that.
I think this was actually the second release they did. So the first one was all the big ones. You got Dracula, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, and Wolfman. So
Gotcha.
I want to say these were Best Buy exclusives. I'm not sure if these are even available. We might have to find eBay for them.
Maybe Groove, I think. I think I've seen
Groove. Yeah. But one time I go through all these, but I got a chance to do it yet. All right. Next time when we do a stream, I'm pulling all my titles beforehand. I'm too fucking old and fat to be running around this room. All right.
Be professional. Jeez.
I am being professional, goddammit.
I hope
All
they
right.
demonetize this.
Wild Rider says Candyman 2021 not great. I'm gonna watch it one day. Mummy 1932.
I hope Metallica gets all your money.
Number 26. That's high.
Yeah, it's high, man.
I wonder what other classic monster movies are above or below that.
I'm sure it's quality. I mean, I have no doubt about it.
Scholars that haven't seen the Mummy 32 in a long time don't have it rated yet. Trini says, I don't listen to these must-see movie lists. Most won't make my list.
Again, I haven't seen one Korean yet. Tales from the Dark Side. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. There's a mummy.
Steve Buscemi in that scene.
Yeah,
Uh,
Buscemi. Christian Slater. Yeah.
By the way, hello. How you say this? Z-Pam? Am I saying that right?
Sure. I don't know.
Damn Dirty Ape. Have y'all seen the new Wolfman trailer? No, I need to check it out though.
I wonder if that's going to connect to the Invisible Man movie, like if that's in the same universe.
I would love for them to do that right. They
There's another werewolf movie coming out that Steve sent me, but it's not Wolfman. It's a different werewolf movie. It's
Looks like
more
The
an
Purge.
action.
and that
Yeah,
was James
like-
Wan who did the Invisible Man, right? And you just said he's doing
It's Lee
Black
Winnell.
Lagoon.
Lee Winnell
James
did.
Wan didn't do it.
Lee Winnell.
Lee Winnell did it. Yeah, and
Gotcha.
James Wan is doing the Creature from Black Lagoon remake.
I think he's saying that yes, it is going to be part of that Universal.
Oh, that's cool, man. I like that. It'll be a modern, totally modern, thing. That'd be
Does
cool.
that mean Tom Cruise's The Mummy is a part of that too?
No, I think they abandoned that shit. I think
Yeah, I think
that-
that's going to be
yeah.
kind of redacted. I think
yeah, that's going to be redacted. Yeah.
Invisible Man.
Okay, so is it the same? Is Lee Winnell's doing this Wolfman? That would be cool. Lee Winnell's done really good stuff. He did Upgrade. He did the Invisible Man. I really liked.
What's up, Steve?
What's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late.
Yeah,
So, man.
Steve, big deal.
How you doing, buddy? Been a while.
Yeah, right. Good to see you guys. Glad you're doing okay, pops. I was worried
Yeah,
about
man.
you
Can't
guys
complain,
down
man. Can't complain.
south. Good. Good to hear.
By the way, this is what it's like when Alan's fatally ill. Like I'm sick as a dog. I can't do anything. I may even go to the hospital. That's how sick I am. Then you text him. You won't hear back from him for a day. He's like, I slept all day. Whatever. It's like, yeah, maybe pick up the phone and let everybody know that you're not dead.
Right?
Or you're not.
Why does
you're not-
somebody comment on my videos? The pops die. What the fuck?
Yeah, you got to keep people updated, man.
Yeah. Everybody saying, hey, Steve and Steve.
How's the
All
list
right.
coming along?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know, we're like
far
5
so
in,
good.
something like that.
all right.
Cool.
So we're going to move on to number 18. I ain't got much to say about The Mummy. I don't remember much about it. I mean, it's a classic movie. But all right. Number 18, The Shining. I kind of feel like this might make everybody's list, but I know it's going to make my top 25. For sure.
Yeah.
That's the one I got. Dirk actually gave me this.
Shit. Hold on. God damn it.
Is this the one you got, Johnny? Same slip?
I knew everybody was going to hold that one up, so I went to the Steelbook rack and I was like, I haven't seen anybody really hold that up in a while.
Oh, that's
So
a good one.
when it-
Yeah, the
I've got the
Walmart one.
steel book too.
Yeah.
Wait, mine didn't get a sticker, and I got it on release day. What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Dr.
Oh,
Sleep
Dr. Sleep.
promotional
Yeah.
thing.
Ooh, I got a good one to show this one.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice.
So,
Man, that back artwork on that thing is fucking detailed.
oh,
as
man, it's
hell.
badass, dude. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
By the way, I did buy that fucking $150 Halloween box set. That guy was fucking, yeah, I did it.
I'm not getting it. Yeah, whatever. I'm not doing it.
The fucker kept putting it on Facebook. I got 54 left. I got 38 left. I was going, fuck. I kept on refreshing the page. Fucking, I went and bought it.
We all know how it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was on here going, I'm not getting that thing. But the pre-order goes
Man, it
live
looks sexy as fuck, though.
tomorrow at 8 p.m. Just in case anybody else wants to know. I don't care about it though. I'm not.
So that
getting
means they can never come out with another Halloween movie. Fucking ever. They're done.
it. Yeah.
Michael Myers is dead. Move on. This is going to fuck up my $150 box set if they do.
They grinded him up.
They'll release another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But
But 18 seems kind of low for this. I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I'm really
for
surprised
anybody's
that-
top
that they
25.
yeah, I figure this would definitely be a top 10 for sure. On a list
Yeah,
like
if
this.
you're a horror fan, it's gonna make your top 10 probably.
Yeah. This is one of those movies for me that I might go a year or two without watching it. And every time I'm watching it, about 30 minutes into it, I tell myself, God damn, this movie's good.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. And I was lucky enough to see this one in theaters. One of those throwback cinema nights, whatever. And if you have never seen this movie in a cinema before, with the sound of the theater, Dolby sound, I'm telling you, the sound for the music. I'm not a big music guy in movies, a big soundtrack guy, whatever. That's not my thing. But this movie here, the music itself, the sounds of this movie is its own character. And the movie, watching this in theater is a totally different experience. And I was, even my son who don't like horror movies, he wouldn't go see it with me, and he fucking fell in love with it. So, yeah, man, it's a good one.
What about this one?
I like how the cover of the new Slip makes it look like a slasher.
Yeah,
It's with the axe and everything.
yeah,
That's
that is.
an interesting choice.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's a ghost story. It's a haunted house. Unraveling mind. I mean, it's a lot of things, but
I don't think people
Slashers
really
of
get
one.
that from it though.
I mean,
Oh, they don't-
you have
yeah, they-
one body count of one. The whole movie. I mean, it's clearly more about the atmosphere and more about the, like I said, the isolation horror aspect of it. Like, I mean, Craig, this is a pretty slow movie. I'm so kind of surprised this is where would you put this in your top in the 25?
I would say this is in my top 25. This definitely had an effect on me when I was a kid when I watched it. Every time I watch it at least once a year, and I still pick up on little things I haven't noticed from a previous watch.
Mhm.
I guess that's the brilliance of Stanley Kubrick right there. Just throwing
One of
little
those kind of movies for sure.
But
Yeah, it's very good for that.
But yeah, definitely. I know it. Definitely you do get that feeling of that isolation that Jack feels for sure. I couldn't imagine being stuck in a hotel for 5 months.
Mhm.
But just being doing my side job that I do, my security job, just being at a desk for 8 hours, like that makes me feel isolated. I can't imagine 5 months. Like, God damn.
Yeah, pretty surprised at how low it was on the list, but then again, I mean, this is whatever. I mean, this is a movie that's critically acclaimed, and the fans love it too. So it's odd that it's this low, but hey, what do we know?
But I will say, man, the 4K restoration that they did on this, the amount of money and time they put into restoring this movie, it makes it look like a brand new movie. It looks great. I've heard that Steven Spielberg supervised a lot of the restoration of this. I don't know how true that is.
Well, they were dear friends.
Close. It might be
Yeah.
close, but
So I'm
it
sure
had a
he
little
did.
bit to do with the restoration.
I'm sure they spared no expense on that.
Yeah.
yeah.
They knew they were going
Yeah,
to get
that
their
for-
money back.
4K looks really good, but we all know that there's one person who definitely didn't like that movie, and that was none other than Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. Like, I don't know how anybody could even. I know he wrote it and whatever. His version's different. I get that, but
He
Yeah,
has
then you
warmed up
watch
to it a
his
little
version,
bit
and
after
it's
Doctor
horrible.
Sleep.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of his version. I think he took Kubrick took the ball and ran with it here, changed it, made it more movie friendly, obviously, and I don't know, just superior version. And they didn't get along, obviously, too. So I think it's personal between them. But I don't know, like where would this fall, Johnny? Do you think this would be a top 5, top 10?
That's going to be definitely a top 5 for me, for sure, man. Like, I couldn't do a top 5 without putting The Shining in it. But
Objectively,
Yeah.
if you don't like the story, I think anybody would say it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
it's Kubrick's masterpiece, in my opinion. Even though, like, Stephen King will swear up all day long that he wrote the screenplay and Kubrick butchered it, and not to mention he advised him not to cast Nicholson. And it's like, ugh, like cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
I mean, have you taken a good look at Stephen King before? I mean, just look at him. His parents are definitely related. I mean, this is not a. I mean,
Him and his wife might be related.
yeah, exactly. His sister and his mom are the same person.
Jesus Christ.
Feels like he's related to Charles Manson to me.
Yeah. He's from rural middle of nowhere, Maine. I mean, it's pretty country up there.
But yeah, that film right there is pretty much equivalent to John Carpenter's The Thing when it comes to isolation. Like, you would just,
Yeah.
it crawls all over you, and it's like, damn. Like Craig
Both of
said,
them great
imagine
movies.
having to do that. Like, you'd get cabin fever within like the first week and probably end up killing yourself.
This will probably make my
I
top
think it'd
5.
be kinda nice.
If not
I
my
think
top
it'd be
5,
kinda
it'll be
nice.
right on the cusp. So,
Yeah. I'm curious to see what the chat says. If anyone in the chat's just like, oh, boring or whatever.
There are people that aren't really fans of it.
Yeah, they're called women. A lot of women do not like this movie. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's portrayal of Wendy, but they do not like this movie at all. I don't know what that is. But
It's very slow paced. It's pretty uneventful, but like it gives you plenty to look at and plenty to listen to.
the
If I'm in this hotel for 5 months, Shelley Duvall is going to be bow-legged tying the slow thaws. Well, there ain't nothing else to fucking do. What else are you going to do? I mean,
the full stocked kitchen. I mean, you get the run of the place, no utilities, no nothing. You just, I don't know. It sounds kind of nice.
it actually don't sound too bad.
It doesn't sound too bad to me.
Then Sydney gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I kind of figured that'd be a little higher from Sydney.
That's a pretty high score from Sydney, really. But
Shining number 9.
hard to argue, man.
Steve says, laughing at Holland, says, I wasn't sure which Steve was being greeted. Trey said The Shining top 25 for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Shining 3.5 out of 5. Still need to watch the sequel. Yeah, the sequel's fantastic.
Very good.
Chris has never watched The Shining because the book was boring. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Just watched Dr. Sleep for the first time and really enjoyed it, Trini said.
Yeah. It's a winner.
That's another one that was real ballsy to make that movie.
Yeah. How could that work? But
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah. And that movie made Stephen King come around on The Shining a little bit anyway.
Yeah. Love Wrangler says, my mother went to the hotel from The Shining. Yeah, I went to where Stephen King wrote it up. What's it called, Brad, there in Colorado?
Stanley Hotel.
Family.
I
Yeah.
guess you would know. I went there and visited that. That was kind of cool. They also filmed Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. And the Stephen King's version of The Shining.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a cool hotel.
That one would not make my top 25.
Yeah. That movie is almost unwatchable.
Yeah. Trina saying, damn, Brad, shaking my head about something.
I mean, show me the demographic of women that like this movie. I'm sure there are some, but women just do not, in my experience, like this movie at all.
I know some women that like it, but they're horror fans.
Sucks. Wow, that's a hot take.
Go.
All right, on that note, we're gonna move off The Shining here. You got anything more to say about it?
Nope.
All right,
Universally
number
love.
17, we got Diabolique. I'm sure I said that wrong. I've never seen this. I don't know shit about it. Bro, this is Johnny. Johnny, take it and run.
Yeah, it's if I'm not mistaken, I think this is a French film. Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see, from 1955. I got to watch this movie one time before. I definitely dug it. It's got a couple twists in there that's really unexpected, especially for like a film from that early on. Like I said, I only watched it once though. With this being like a top 100 list for me, absolutely not. But I had a lot of fun with it though. I definitely plan on checking it out again. But it's basically like a plot to kill. There's like this couple who's running this orphanage, and they I believe it's the husband comes up with the idea to kill the wife. However, as the events play out, we find out that the wife is a lesbian, and they have now plotted to kill the husband. And you're like, damn, 1955, and they got lesbians trying to kill this guy.
That's risque for 55.
Yeah, man. So I was like, all right, I'm down with it, and yeah, I ran it all the way through, and it was a pretty good, solid watch. To be honest with you, how the ending kind of unfolds, I really can't even remember what transpired at the end, but I do just remember watching it, being like, damn, they were kind of like pulling some risky shit for 1955. So that's all I really got to say about it, man.
Yeah, not seen it. It was a Criterion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. that says everything about it.
I didn't have this on the screen. Nobody in the fucking chat knew what I was talking about. There it is, 17 Diabolique.
Yeah, probably not something I'm gonna check out.
I've definitely seen it around, but yeah, I've never watched it.
If that release Johnny's got, I've seen the Criterion of that, or seen the release of that. I've seen it when I was going through the sales and stuff.
You said lesbians, right?
Yeah.
There's why that made the list. Anyway, on
It's
to 16.
inclusive.
It's inclusive. Got that signal.
I thought probably not much chatter about this one. Let's see. The Shining is the greatest slow burn of all times. Johnny's not seen the movie.
Diabolic or whatever. Diabolic.
Diabolique.
But you own it, right, Trini? I may not have seen it, but I bet you own it.
I enjoyed I Believe. There's an American remake of it, which I haven't seen, from '96.
Well, that might be worth checking out. Oh, no.
Yeah, they got real actors in that movie, probably.
Yeah, real actors.
All right, we're gonna move on. 16 Halloween. I'm surprised that one's that low too. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Gonna make my top 25 for sure. We'll go ahead and say that.
We all got this the hard box.
Yeah, I got that really big box set coming. It's that fucking big. It's coming. I wish I could show it now. Goddamn, it gets my money's worth.
Oh, you got both 4Ks, huh, Craig?
Yeah, it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, so I had to get the
Where
original.
would you put this on the horror ranking? Number 2?
I would say this is my number 3.
Yeah. Strong.
Um,
I mean, maybe this is a hot take. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
okay.
to me, The Thing pushes this movie shit in. In
Yeah.
my opinion, The Thing is much better. But I still like Halloween. I own it. I'm happy to own it. But I would take The Thing over this any day.
I concur.
The Thing pushes Halloween shit in.
Man, I mean, I'm
I'd
serious.
buy that
I mean,
for
really.
$1.
That should have been on the thumbnail. Yeah, Halloween. I love the franchise. Love this movie. I don't know where it would rank for me. I don't think it would make my top 10, but it would be close.
So
Maybe.
definitely in your top 25.
Yeah,
This would
definitely
be-
top 25 for sure. I just don't know where it's going to land at. But to say top 10, if it is top 10, it's going to be the back end of the top 10, somewhere in
I
that
mean,
where it's
They
going
say
to land.
this is the Godfather of slashers. I would agree it inspired slashers, but this is not a slasher. This is an atmospheric slow burn. What's the body count? 3?
Yeah, it's got
Uh,
nothing on Black Christmas.
Yeah, Black Christmas was, if you want to go that route, Black Christmas came out before this. Definitely, I think, inspired this movie. So, I don't know. I still like it. I don't know if it'd be in my top 25, but it's a really good movie. It's a great slow burn, great atmosphere, great fall feel. What do you think, Johnny?
The reason I got into Halloween was basically because of Scream. I always wanted to know what that movie was they were watching at Stu's party.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I just like the whole thing with Scream, and like the part where David Arquette comes in the house and he's searching for who he thinks the killer is, Sydney's dad.
Mhm.
And he's like going through and the Halloween theme is playing as he's like trying to clear the house. I thought that was so cool to mix that in there. And then I'm like, I got to watch that movie that they're watching.
Yeah.
And I found out it was Halloween. And I was like, oh, I caught it on the Sci-Fi Channel one night. And I'm like, oh, that's the movie they're watching in Scream. Holy shit.
It
So that's
all comes back around to Scream.
It does. It does.
Winning guest.
So to give you a little thing about Halloween, that's another one I've had on multiple formats. I had the VHS, one of the many Anchor Bay DVDs. They milked the shit out of that movie. Multiple editions. I had the Anchor Bay, and then I got obviously the Anchor Bay Blu-ray, which was $7.99 at Walmart when it came out. I remember Walmart had the cheapest Blu-rays at the time for catalog titles, which was cool. And here's a funny story for you. Me and Tommy, we ended up meeting John Carpenter. Here's a picture of me and Tommy with John Carpenter. And if you were to meet John Carpenter, you could ask him anything you want to. And the only thing I could ask him was at the time, is Halloween getting a 4K? And he goes, what's that? I don't know. I'm like, damn it.
Get out of here, kid.
What 4K is. But then, like 6 months later, this got released by Lionsgate. This is the original artwork 4K with the slipcover.
Yeah, I have that one. It's the last release.
Yeah, I hung on to this once Scream Factory announced that they're doing it, but I just love the original poster art on there. I thought the transfer looked okay, but Scream Factory a few years later put this one out as a collector's edition with that hard box, and I think this was supervised by Dean Cundy, the cinematographer, and I think it's got the correct color timing of how they wanted the movie to look back in the day. So I think there is a difference between these two releases, like with the color, but.
Yeah.
I have to go back and see a side-by-side comparison, but I think this is the definitive release right here.
That Blu-ray Halloween box set, that's the first Scream Factory title I ever bought before I even knew what the fuck Scream Factory was. I found that box set in like an FYE, and I just bought it because it looked cool. And then later on, when I met fucking Johnny, that I found out there was Scream Factory, and then now I'm broke. So thanks, Johnny.
My life has been a living hell ever since.
He always blames me for this shit.
What about you, Johnny? Do you think this is the top 25?
man, like Alan said, like especially with a movie like this, man, I love the hell out of this movie. Of course, just like everybody else. Of course, I love The Thing and Christine a lot more than this movie,
Me
especially
too.
Christine
Me too.
being my favorite Carpenter movie of all time. But yeah, man, like it'd definitely be like, I don't know, like it'd be somewhere between like my top 25 or my top 50 somewhere if I had to sit down and analyze it or whatever. But
My thing with this movie is that, well, those other movies came out recently, whatever. People talked about them so fucking much. I got to the point where I was just done talking fucking Halloween. Let's move on. I'm done. And I think that probably dropped this down a little bit for me just because I was so fucking burnt out on it.
you know, like 3 years ago, man, like we crossed that bridge multiple times in a stream where they like everybody was getting excited about the Halloween 2 Steelbook. Whenever Scream Factory rolled out the 2 and 3 Steelbook, we were just like, man, like we're like that's great stuff, man. But fuck, man, it's Halloween. Like everybody's talked this to death already. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
What about you, Steve? Does this make the top 25?
I don't know about top 25. Like Johnny said, it probably make top 50. Like to me, it doesn't have anything on Christine or The Thing.
It's a man after my heart right there.
Is the chat chiming in on this one?
Let's see what we got. Let's talk about Christine. Goddamn, I love that movie. That might be my favorite Carpenter.
Soundtrack, cinematography, everything.
I want to say when I did the ranking over on that was Gizmo's channel, I want to say I put Christine at number 1. I remember correctly.
Yeah, the effects still hold up. They look
Absolutely.
beautiful.
They fucking shot. They started playing Bad to the Bone. Get the car cranks up, man. It's so fucking badass. Scholar, not saying the original, I believe, just the U.S. remake. Train says, Brad, leave Criterion alone. And
But he,
said,
but he still owns it, even though I knew it.
Bob Bayless is number 5 on Halloween 78.
It's hard to argue.
And Scholar gives it a 4 out of 5. Halloween will make my list. So I enjoyed Halloween until I met diehard Halloween fans. I definitely understand that. There's some crazy motherfuckers over that franchise, over that movie. Yep, all agrees. Halloween 3, on the other hand, in my top 25. Interesting.
Strong film.
Halloween fans are toxic along with Star Wars fans. I stay very far away from those conversations.
Criterion fans, Dawn of the Dead fans, they all they blend together. Now, in the new breed, Terrifier fans. Or as I like to call them, Terrifier tards. But we'll move on to number 15. People are going too crazy for these movies, and there's going to be about 300 of them. I promise you. They'll make one every year for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. All right, moving on. 15, Don't Look Now.
Oh, that's a Criterion.
1973. I'm not sure if I've seen this or not.
You would remember if you'd
You
seen
would
it, I'm
remember
sure.
the ending with the midget and the red coat.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I don't sound familiar at all.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I own it.
If that doesn't sound familiar, dude, you ain't seen it. The ending. This movie's all about the ending. It's a movie about what's his fucking name? He's Canadian. He died recently. Donald Sutherland and his wife. Their daughter drowns in their backyard while they're home.
Oh, this is the Criterion that just come out
Yeah,
recently.
it's Criterion 4K.
Okay.
Their daughter drowns. She wears a red. Her favorite color is red. She has a red ball. She has a red raincoat she wears all the time. You know how kids are; they get obsessed with things. They decide they're going to move to Venice, I believe.
Yeah.
Or Florence or Venice, whatever, Italy,
Venice.
and to France, whatever. I don't know. It's all the same.
It's
shit.
Venice.
With the canals, whatever, and they're going to start over. They're going to start over completely. They got to just get away from the house. Everything reminds them of their daughter, whatever. And they go to try to start over. He's like some kind of like salvage architect or something. And he starts seeing somebody with a red cloak in the distance, random places. And there's murders happening all over the city. And he thinks somehow they're connected. And he just has to pursue it. He becomes obsessed with it and follows that rabbit down the rabbit hole. And it ends with a really bizarre, like out of nowhere, like ending. But yeah, it's a good movie. A good movie, Giallo-esque, as they say. Whatever. I don't know that it's a top 25. I wouldn't put it in my top 25.
It's more of a drama.
Drama, thriller, mystery. Not
So
a
Brad,
not-
Brad, when you got the Criterion edition, I know you're kind of excited about this one coming out. You had already seen it. Or was that a first time watch?
No, I'd already seen it.
Okay.
I like it. It's like an old man mystery story to me. It's less a horror movie
Gotcha.
than that. I enjoy it for that aspect. Oh, Johnny, are you a big fan of this movie?
I was about to say this too, man. It's kind of shitty, but whenever you went to go hold up your Criterion, I saw Steve hold up his, and I was like, wait a minute, like I forgot I actually got the same one
You
that he
got
had
the
right
studio
there.
Canal.
And I was about to say, like, I've never seen this movie, but damn, like, I've heard so much about it. I keep meaning to buy that fucking Criterion. And I saw Steve hold that up, and I'm like, damn it. Like, I knew I bought that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, unfortunately. I've had, like, maybe 6 people tell me, like, you got to watch that movie. It's great, but just haven't got around to it yet.
I think the Studio Canal scan is supposed to be the better scan, or maybe
Yeah.
they use the Studio Canal one on this one. I don't remember, but there's something about the Studio Canal.
It came out right before the Criterion.
But can't go wrong either way. You can get that on sale. It's a good one.
Let's see what we got in the chat here. Top 25 endings.
Oh yeah, that ending's out there, man.
Don't Look Now, number 27.
I can't argue it. It's a good one.
I never seen the movie, but it was on. I remember the ending was featured on like Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie
Yes,
Moments or something
yeah.
like that. That's where I saw the ending.
I love that series.
And I was
Whatever
like,
it's
whoa!
Yeah.
They show the part with the
That
midget.
ending is it'll get you. It'll get you for sure.
You said that was Bravo?
Yeah, Bravo 101.
Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments.
I think it was 101's most scary movie moments is what it was called. And it's Bravo Network. It was 5 parts. It was a good series, you know.
Compilation.
Brad, I'm a
series,
movie
yeah.
fan, not a label fan. Of course, I have not seen Don't Look Now.
It's
Yeah,
called I think you would like it. You get something out of it for sure.
well,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
little long.
Voltron Yellow Raincoat.
Steve, what do you think? Do you think this would be in your top 25?
Absolutely not. I
Yeah.
enjoy it, but it's not something I revisit. Like,
I mean, I have a hard time even calling it a horror movie. I mean, horrific things happen, but I mean,
yeah,
it's
it's
a-
much more of a drama, I would say.
Chris says Don't Look Now is very strange. Enjoyed it. Donald Sutherland.
yeah.
Don't Look Now.
Yeah,
4 out of 5.
This is right up Sydney's alley. This is where Sydney would park his car for sure.
He does a really good performance in it. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, he's really good in it.
Trini watched Don't Look Now for this month.
I know Trini wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I mean, it's a weird one. It's just that ending will make you want to see it again and go back a little bit and rewatch it, but it's very slow. It's just not. Like I said, it's a Criterion. Of course, they had to make the list.
I may stream it before I may pick it up.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to 14 here. We got Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror.
I know Johnny's a big fan of this one.
Yeah, before Kino rolled out their nice 2-disc deluxe set. Well, before they even got into Blu-rays, I kind of had one of the Kino releases and just didn't even know it at the time. But it's one of the first Kinos I ever bought on DVD. And come on, man, it's 1922, silent film era. I know a lot of people can't sit through that shit and they'll fall asleep, but I remember being at school, but getting introduced to that the first time, just like, you know, the Universal monster movies like The Mummy and everything. Had a teacher who showed me those movies, and the first time I seen it, of course, I was like, okay, like everything looked kind of bronze to me, of course. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. And yeah, it kind of said a little bit, and then I kind of got the history from her being like, hey, like movies didn't always have sound in them and blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of an introduction to like some old school movies. So especially like A Trip to the Moon and stuff like that too. I went down that rabbit hole with my teacher right behind it as well. So that was a very memorable moment from my childhood for sure. So yeah, the vampire in that fucking movie looks horrible. I mean, you watch it now and it's just like, ugh, it's almost silly, but it holds up, man, to
Is
me.
Salem's Lot a remake of that kind of, or is it like based on the look of the Nosferatu?
Maybe the look of it inspired
The
it,
look.
I think.
Definitely the look. But yeah, the story of Nosferatu and of course Salem's Lot is like 2 completely different stories.
Kind of looks like a really fucking ugly Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage could have played it, yeah.
Yeah, like it was
Willem Dafoe
far
played
like
him.
top 100, definitely
I
not.
believe. But do you think would this make your top 25?
Mine, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not.
I haven't seen it in many years. I know the production values are very strong, when they're going up a mountain and everything, they're really going up a mountain, you know, and on horse and buggy and stuff. But this doesn't seem like I would ever revisit. I'm looking forward to the remake coming in December from Eggers.
Yeah.
That looks really good. But yeah, this is not my thing.
I've never watched the entire movie, but I've seen clips. I mean, 100 different clips from it. But I'm familiar with it, but I've never watched all of it. But it's not going to make my top 100 probably. Let's see if anybody in the chat feels different about it. Trini likes it. Nosferatu number 18.
I'd like to see Wild Wrangler's list, man. Like he's on point with his shit. He knows exactly where to put everything too.
Trini's mostly watching 70s, 80s horror this month. What's wrong with that? Scholars are not sure if I have seen Nosferatu, a symphony of horror, just some clips. Yeah, same here.
Clips, yeah.
Chris says, I saw a really cool 35mm screening of Nosferatu with a live orchestra. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they're doing that. That's like kind of touring, I think. So
I just watched Nosferatu, the Vampire '79 with Klaus Kinski. That's a weird fucker.
yeah, I've got that one too. I haven't watched that in a while.
So you got some fans out there. All right, number 13, we got Silence of the Lambs. This is all up in my top 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, definitely be in my top 10.
I got the Criterion release too, but I pulled the Kino 4K.
Well, there's now an Arrow 4K.
Yeah, I didn't grab that one.
Yeah. I might have to pick up the Arrow 4K. I haven't even cracked this one open yet.
Yeah. Criterion Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig, what about you? This movie doesn't do it for you. I know you're not a fan of Thomas Harris.
So, I mean, I watched Hannibal all the way through before I ever watched Silence of the Lambs. You know, I've always known about Silence of the Lambs. When I was a kid, Hannibal was the first one I watched. I'm like, okay, I enjoyed Hannibal. I have to go back and watch the first one now. And, you know, I think Hannibal has better pacing than Silence of the Lambs for sure. You know, Ridley Scott really took off with that and did his own thing with it. But Silence of the Lambs, I mean, definitely with Buffalo Bill being based on Ed Gein, just with like the
It's a combination of Ed Gein, Heidnik, Ted Bundy.
yeah.
It's a combination of multiple.
But I will say, man, like Ted Levine definitely made me feel unsettled. Like he played that part very well.
Yeah.
But I ended up picking up a while ago. I picked up the what was it, the Criterion release, and then when that came out, as soon as this was announced, I ended up picking this up and selling the Criterion. So I haven't checked the 4K out yet, but I do have to rewatch this, and I haven't seen this in like a couple years. But
It looks pretty good.
yeah, I mean, the ending is awesome with like the glow in the dark goggles on and shit like that, and he's following her with the revolver in the back of her head. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like Hannibal better, and I still have to rewatch Red Dragon and then Hannibal Rising. I saw in theaters. I don't even remember it though.
Yeah, prequel.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's from what I saw. I mean, it's a pretty cool movie, but I just like Hannibal better.
Yeah. What about you, John? You think it's going to make the top 25?
It'd probably be somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in the top 100 list, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for Hannibal Rising, man, just because I just watched that movie again, and it was nice just to watch that over again. But if I had to take my pick, man, I actually like Hannibal Rising the best out of all four of those.
Hannibal Rising is like, it's like an epic. It's not even like a horror movie. It's like it's a horror movie, sure, but it's like an epic, big, huge story.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong though. I liked Hannibal and Red Dragon too as well, and of course, big fan of Silence of the Lambs. That was one of the very first horror movies like my parents actually introduced me to, and I was way too young to watch that shit. But seeing Buffalo Bill like tuck his dick in and dance in front of the camera, I'm like, Mom, what the fuck is this?
This movie's definitely my top 25. I'm a huge fan of this fucking movie. Every time I watch it, it gets fucking better. I watch it at least once a year. It's fantastic all the way through, I think. It's definitely going to be in the top 25. I would say it's probably going to be. It may crack the top 10.
Yeah.
I'd have to do some thinking on where to put it at, but it would probably crack the top 10. Anthony Hopkins just, what can you say? They already been said. The motherfucker just killed it. What's he on screen for? What is it? 10 minutes, 8 minutes?
Not much. Yeah.
Whatever. And motherfucker is just unforgettable.
Him and Ted Levine, they both had great performances. You know me, I think every movie should be shorter. This movie, I don't think there's one scene you could lose. There's no fat in it whatsoever. It's just, I think it's a once in a generation type. They are often duplicated. It's never been replicated.
Yeah, I didn't know who the fuck Thomas Harris was when this came out in theaters. Me and my first wife went and seen this in theaters and fucking blew us away.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of it ever since. So yeah, this is definitely a top 10 movie for me. So
Anybody that disagrees with that can unsubscribe to Alan's channel right now.
now I will say that I do want to go through and watch all the sequels and all the prequels and everything else. I kind of want to watch them all because I've seen this movie a million times. I've seen the other movies maybe once or twice each. And I need to go through. I want to go through and watch them all in order. So, order of the timeline.
I like Hannibal and Red Dragon quite a bit.
I like them all. I even like Manhunter. I mean, I like them all.
Yeah, I like Manhunter. Like I really just haven't watched. I think I've seen Hannibal Rising once, and they just released it. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll probably pick it up at some point.
Tino will probably do the 4K of it, I would bet.
Let's see what they got out there in the chat. We got Silence of the Lambs 4 out of 5, says Sydney. That's a good score. Silence of the Lambs 4.5 out of 5. Hard
to argue.
Train says, yes, Brad, before you say it, I own it.
That's the criterion, yeah, of course.
Silence of the Lambs number 6 for Wild Wrangler. That's pretty close where it landed for me, too.
Hard to argue, yeah.
All the movies are good. Nice to hear the love for Rising.
Yeah. It just, it's a shame we haven't had a good release of that until it seems like we have a decent one now. I know Johnny just watched it. He said the Blu-ray looks great. I'm looking forward to rewatching it. I haven't seen it in years.
Just unfortunately, the special features that's on the that Blu-ray steelbook, unfortunately, the special features look horrible. They just poured them over from DVD and didn't even encrypt it correctly. It just looks bad, but it's watchable.
And that's the Walmart steelbook that just come out?
Yeah, that's just the special features I'm talking about. The film itself looks great. There's nothing wrong with it.
I had that, but I haven't watched it yet.
The special feature archives that they did was ugh.
Sculder's talking about the TV show here. I like the TV show too. Not Clarice, Hannibal, the TV show with Mads Mikkelsen.
I like the first however many seasons it was until it started getting real fucking weird.
It got weird about season 3.
Deer horns and all that weird shit that was going on. I lost interest pretty quick.
I mean, it was kind of weird the whole time, but it really started to get strange. It does its own story with those characters. It has its own take on everything, so it keeps you guessing a little bit.
I mean, me and Ryan tried to watch the first episode of Clarice, and we never went back to it. I don't think we even finished the first episode. Pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I was like, Clarice got canceled real quick. Yeah, that was a fuck. Yeah, Silence of the Lambs, man. Like I said, I have a big love for that movie. Number 13 on here, I can't really argue with that. Whatever, that's a good place for it. But for me, it's gonna probably be about number 8 or 9, I would think. Just top of my head. Number 12, King Kong, 1933. This was not my King Kong. Jeff Bridges, 70, whatever the fuck. That's my King Kong. So I got a picture somewhere. Mom's got a picture somewhere of me shooting my first shotgun. I'm wearing a King Kong shirt. I mean, I'm like fucking 8. That's I was a big King Kong fan back in the day. Not this one, but the Jeff Bridges one from 70, whatever the fuck it was. And I didn't pull it off the shelf, but I got the Scream Factory release of it. But
the Peter Jackson one. Yeah. I remember I liked the Peter Jackson one.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't think I've ever seen the original. I've seen clips with stop motion and when he's working the jaws of the T-Rex. I've seen that, but there's a lot of people that are huge fans of this movie. It got, Peter Jackson, obviously. There's a lot of big names that call this their favorite movie. It just, I don't know. It's just before my time.
Going back into the brain of somebody of 1933 when this come out, I'm sure this was a big fucking deal.
It probably blew their mind. I mean,
I'm sure this was a huge fucking deal. And yeah. I'm sure that's why it's on this list, whatever, because it probably has as much relevance for 1933 as Psycho did for the 60s.
Yeah.
But yeah, plus how many times has this movie been remade? I mean, 5, 6 times.
It's a great story, regardless.
It is. It is. And like I said, I'm sure in 1933 this fucking blew people's minds, and you know they're all dead now. but you know, there's still people around that love it. I guess you know. I mean, hell, Wild Wrangler's got it number 10 on his list.
Damn.
Which, you know, I can't hate any of that, man. But people's opinions, like I said, I've never seen it, so I can't talk shit about it.
Maybe if I watched it,
But I think I'm gonna like more than the Jeff Bridges version of it. I don't know. That's just the one I grew up on. I think everybody, whichever one they grew up on, is the one they're going to be probably like the best. I would think.
When me and Monica went to Empire State Building in New York City, there was a lot of King Kong merchandise in their gift shops. You know, everything from like bobbleheads and like shot glasses and stuff like that. Just even throughout like the building, there's like posters of like from different countries of King Kong because it was so prevalent using the building in that movie.
Yeah,
yeah, they really market King Kong when you go to World Trade or Empire State Building.
Empire State Building. Johnny, you seen this one?
I haven't, man. Like, of course, just like the rest of you guys, I've kind of seen the clips like everybody else has, the little montages and stuff like that. But actually sit down and watch that from start to the end, I definitely never have.
I'm glad it gave Steven Spielberg the inspiration to do The Lost World, the third act of The Lost World. I think that's what inspired him was King Kong.
I'm sure he's a big fan of this.
Bringing back the T-Rex to San Diego was pretty what they did to King Kong with New York City. Like that was kind of cool. Did that. That's still not King Kong.
Yeah, I'm sure that's big for him.
all right. We seen that one number 10 for Wild Wrangler. Scolder's seen King Kong 33, but long enough ago to not have it rated. Understandable. Brad Godzilla -1. Netflix has black and white version.
Well, that'd be cool, but I still that might help the effects look better, but it won't help the story be
I
better.
watched about the first 30 minutes of that movie, I don't know, a month ago, right after it came out on Netflix, whatever, and I hadn't finished it yet. If that tells you anything.
I'll finish it, you know, maybe you'll love it.
So, I mean, it just hadn't grabbed me yet, but I need to sit down and get through it.
Yeah, it'll grab you.
All right, moving on. Number 11. Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's up there on the fucking shelf. I got
what is this? The 25th anniversary? It's an anniversary edition, right? What's the difference, Craig? There's two versions.
So I got the Ford. This is the actual Fox release before Disney bought it out.
So this is.
So you got that yellow banner at the bottom or the top. So yeah, you got the re-release. You got like that cinematic edition.
Yeah,
yeah, the Marvels.
So it's not. Their yours is the 40th anniversary.
I got the first pressing with the slip. You got the Disney pressing.
Yep. But yeah, this shouldn't be on the list. this is garbage here. I don't know why this would be.
Oh man, this is a I don't know where to put it. I think this would also be in my top 10.
Probably, I think it'd be my.
Maybe so many spots in that top 10 though, you know. Yeah. But this will definitely be in the top 10. So I go back and forth. Do I like this better? Do I like Aliens better? They're two fucking different animals. Depends on what I want to watch. Do I want to watch a horror movie? Do I want to watch an action movie? But yeah, as far as this goes here, man, this is holds up well, fantastic. Watched it a million times, never gets old.
It's not dated somehow, even with the tech and everything.
Yeah,
it's so foreign and weird. What do you think about this one, Craig?
I like it's got some slow pacing to it, but like once the alien is like out of the once the chest burster shit happens, and then it starts to grow into the full grown xenomorph. It definitely keeps you on your toes, on the edge of your seat, just because you're just wondering, like, when's the thing going to pop out? Who's going to pick off next? Like, I like how it's just like a sci-fi slasher. It's like a creature feature slasher. It's really cool. But definitely a big movie for Sigourney Weaver. Pretty much put her on the map.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, I enjoy Alien. I just remember that chest burster scene as a kid watching that. Like, I was like, holy shit. You know? Like, what a surprise that was, how gory it was and nasty. Just watching that thing come right out of his chest, and like
I love the actual reactions of the other cast.
Yeah,
you know, the woman that gets the blood sprayed in her face, they had no idea what was going to fucking happen, and that natural reaction, whatever, knowing how they filmed it, whatever, is great to watch every time you see it. You know,
Did you ever see the behind the scenes photos of the original Xenomorph? What it looked like? Like I know how it's got that elongated skull, but like if you look at the behind the scenes photos, like they didn't have like that clear covering. It was actually like a human looking skull with like a really long.
I don't remember. I saw that documentary.
They ended up
Origin.
like filming it with they put like a transparent like thing on it, but
Dome
the
on it.
original look had like a skull on it. It was pretty cool. I don't know why they took that out.
What about you, Steve? Will this make the top 25?
Probably close. It could make the 25 around that area, I'd say. I'm more of an Aliens guy.
Johnny, you think this would be your top 25?
Like it probably like top 50 for sure. Like Craig said, I remember just being a little kid and seeing that fucking chest burster scene. And I was just like, oh God, unforgettable moment. Like all of us will probably take that moment to our grave with us where we're just like, oh, that fucking moment changed everything.
Man, I like the, where it's raining in the ship where Harry Dean Stanton gets it. Like that's the part I remember the most. It's like, why the fuck's it raining in here? But the ship's so big. It's, obviously it's not raining. It's like condensation or whatever the fuck it is. But the ship is just this massive thing. And I don't know. I just like that. I like that they're like truck drivers. They're not special forces or whatever. They're just like long haul space truckers. And they have no experience. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're trying to put flamethrowers together and stuff to fight this thing. And
thank God for Harry Dean Stanton, man. Come on. Like that's one of the most underrated actors of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bite him.
Here's that picture I was talking about. I don't know if you can make it a full screen, but this is a behind the scenes photo of what the original Alien looked like on set. It had like a skull face, but they ended up putting a transparent like cap over it. So originally it was going to look like a human face just with an elongated skull, but they took that out.
It really helps that you can't see its eyes and everything. I think that they improved it with what they did to it. And it's really it's a guy in a suit, but it's like this Ethiopian 7 foot tall guy that's like real thin. It's just kind of crazy how it worked out.
And I'm
that
kind
photo is like the fuel that fucking makes the nightmares just thrive, man. Imagine waking up and like seeing that shit in your bedroom walking around. Fuck that.
And it's enormous. It's not like it's a little thing. It's a giant, the warrior of the species or whatever.
And I'm kind of like Steve, whatever. I grew up being more of an Aliens guy, but as I've gotten older and watched them over and over and over again, I think I lean now more towards Alien over Aliens. And I know my oldest son would love to hear that because growing up, we always argued. He loved Alien more. I loved Aliens more. And we would go back and forth. But he started me saying on the stream before that I like Alien more now, so he's kind of left about that.
What about Aliens made the downfall for you, though, to swap back and forth?
Oh, there's no downfall at all. It's just that I feel that I gravitate more to this movie being a horror fan. And I go back and watch this movie more. Now, I've watched Aliens a million fucking times. Every time I watch it, it feels like a first time watch. I love it. It ain't really fallen off at all. But this movie here has just grown more.
Gotcha.
If that makes any sense.
Well, for me, what changed, I was the same way, Aliens all day. But there's a new cut that came out with this release called the director's cut, obviously, that changed it for me. That really added more context to the story and really helped it, for me at least.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver getting bitch slapped explains why they're giving each other go to hell looks the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But
the tension there.
Yeah, explains the tension a lot more.
Yeah, I just seen Aliens first in the theater when it came out when I was a kid, and
I seen Aliens first.
I love them both.
Alien, and I went back and watched Alien on VHS. I rented it or whatever after seeing Aliens in theaters about 5 times. So that's probably why I grew up liking Aliens more.
To be fair to this snob ass Criterion list, Aliens is not a horror movie. Alien is a horror movie. So if you're going to put one of them on the list, it would be Alien. This is the best 100 best horror movies of all time that Criterion put out.
Let's see what the chat's got to say here. What's up, Ken? Hey, Holland says Alien is a top 5.
Hard to argue for me. I think it's great.
Number 7 for Wild Wrangler. 4.5 out of 5 says Scolder. Good score. Love or like all Alien films. Yeah. Romulus maybe will make that list one day. We'll see.
Give the old second one. Hagen, what's up, man?
What's up, Hagen?
What's up, man?
Hagen said just got done watching People Under the Stairs. Fun movie.
Cool.
Remember saying back and forth. All right, I'll mark that. We'll move on. Yeah, Alien Man, I love it. All right, Carrie. Ooh. I think I did pull that one.
Interesting spot.
I got a couple releases of this. That's one I pulled. I got the Blu-ray and the 4K of it. Sure, that's the remake. I got the real fucking Carrie. That's the Carrie remake. But fuck, I got all these motherfuckers just on the shelf. I got the one y'all got there. That's a good remake.
I know Johnny's got that Carrie Scream Factory.
Fuck, I grabbed the wrong fucking movie.
No,
I did.
I know
I had to
you.
grab. I had to grab arrows.
You gotta
I
get
had
the
that
Arrow,
one.
I know.
Yeah, I almost grabbed that one off the shelf also. I had to pick that release up. I got the 4K and then went back and got the Blu-ray of the Arrow after I got the 4K from Screen Factory. I love that
Scream
package
Factory
so
is
much.
not the best 4K, but I still, it's watchable for me. I'm not that. That's how low I put into these things. Like I know it's not the greatest 4K. I still watch that 4K. I don't have any problems with it,
Yeah.
but I know it's not the best. It's not an example disc. But maybe the Arrow 4K is better. I don't know.
I'm actually reading this book right now. I got a Kindle a while back. I've had it for a year now. This is the first book I downloaded. I don't read very much, but I'm gonna go through and try to read all the Stephen King books again. There's a lot of his later books I never read. But anyway, Carrie is obviously his first book, so I started with that one, and it's good. It's a good read. So far, I'm about halfway through it. But
Brian De Palma,
I'm a fan of this movie. It's very dated. It's kind of slow until you really just want to watch it for the last 15 minutes. You know, the prom scene. That's really all you want to fucking see. I mean, the whole movie's okay, but the prom scene's where it's at.
Just got curious. Are you gonna? Do you plan on reading any more Stephen King books after you finish Carrie? Like what?
Yeah,
what made you gravitate
I'm
towards
gonna
that
try to
stuff?
go through all of them. It'll take me the rest of my fucking life, whatever. Because I mean, I read 10 pages to fall asleep. So I'm one of those guys. So, but yeah, my plan is to go through all of them. But I've read anything that came out in the 80s. I've read all that already. So there's going to be reads. But anything that came out probably 99 after, I haven't read any of that stuff. So a lot of books have been put out after 99.
Well,
So,
Alan, would this? Do you think this would make your top 25?
no, it would not make my top 25. If I'm ranking Stephen King movies, this is going to be probably close to the middle, I would think, of the Stephen King movies. But this would not make my top 25. Probably make my top 50, maybe.
What about you, Craig? This be the top 25.
No, I would say top 50. I do enjoy Carrie, though. I mean, it's definitely a very cool movie for Brian De Palma. Like, if you look at De Palma's filmography, I mean, like, it's all over the place with so many classics and so many good movies that he's done from the 70s through like even the 2000s. He's done a few, but I definitely like this as a Stephen King adaptation. Like I said, Brian De Palma, early John Travolta in this too, before Grease, like pre-Grease.
Piper Laurie.
Yeah, Piper Laurie, the mom in this movie, she's psychotic as hell. The music that they have in the movie, like that, that's like that always kind of reminds me of
fucking Jesus ever in the film. That creepy fucking Jesus in the closet is fucked up. So
I know with the yellow eyes. Yeah, that was pretty creepy. But like you said, you get an early. What's her name from Halloween? PJ Soul. She's in the movie. She's one of the girls. But
Nancy Allen.
The gym teacher in the movie. She was pretty cool.
Gym teachers don't look like that in real life, though.
And me being a gym teacher myself, it's just like what they do to those girls. Like she makes them do after school detention and make them work out. You can't do that now. How many parents would be like, "You can't make my kid work out"? Are you kidding me?
You tell my kid she can't go to the dance.
I know it's totally different, but maybe in the 70s it was like that. You never know.
Good movie. De Palma, I think elevates it, but it wouldn't be anywhere near my top 25. Probably wouldn't be in my top 100. But I like it just the same. But you, Johnny, where does this fall?
It'd definitely be in the definitely the top 50 for sure, man. It's a great memory of like when that just being a kid and that came on basic cable. My mom let me watch it. She was a huge Stephen King fan, still is to this day. And me and her always talk about this movie. I can't tell you how many times I've probably watched this movie with her. Even when I got the 4Ks and all that stuff, I had to take them over there and be like, "Hey, check them out now!" Like almost
Yeah.
like watching a different movie. But
When the hand comes out of the grave, when I watched it on basic cable or basic TV back in the day, it fucked me up for quite a while. That was that final scene when the hand coming out of the grave. Many a nightmare I had. My 7-year-old, 8-year-old ass watching it.
But,
The Exorcist,
like-
I watched way too young.
Craig hit the fucking nail on the head, though, especially whenever it came to like the music, like the eat kind of thing. Like back in the day when people flipped out over Psycho with the shower scene with that kind of score,
Yeah.
like that. When I saw that as a kid, seeing Carrie and like going through that motion, I was like, oh, like I kind of compared
On
almost.
the bike, he's like creepy Carrie, and then you see the music. and he just
Eat
crashes.
shit.
Yeah.
They've reused that. I mean, Tremors had the same kind of whenever the thing was attacked, and there's been a lot of movies that use that. Again, it's from Psycho, like Johnny said, it's from Psycho. You know, the people took that cue from Psycho and used it, and it works in a
It's
lot
effective.
of different.
If
Yeah.
it works.
I don't know. I just hate how like even her English teacher was ripping into her when they're like, "What do you think of the poem?" And she's like, "It's beautiful," and the teacher's just like, "Beautiful!" Like he's
Everybody hates Carrie for some reason. What do you think, Steve? Where does this fall?
It might fall somewhere like in my top 50 or so.
Yeah, right on, fair enough.
Johnny, I don't know if you know this or if anyone else knows this, but when Cliff from Scream Factory announced he was leaving and going to Arrow, the first release he did for Arrow was in fact Carrie. So I don't
did
know
not
if
know
the transfer of Arrow is different than Scream Factories. I don't know if they shared it, but the fact that they got Scream Factory guys working on Arrow titles now is pretty cool.
Yeah, and when I held this up to, I should have said this is not the Arrow 4K. This is just the limited edition Blu-ray they released years ago.
Mhm.
And this is the exact same thing that Scream Factory released whenever they did their 2-disc set on the Blu-ray. They shared this same exact scan. So I'm assuming the 4K. I don't know, like you said, who knows if they shared that or not or anything. But I was not impressed at all with the. And the only reason why I didn't like the 4K of Carrie, I think we did this like a couple months ago. I just found it at Walmart for like $20, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna buy it and go check it out. During the prom scene, I literally had to adjust the settings on my TV because it was so dark, and I had to put settings on my TV that I never had to put up that high on another 4K UHD disc. So I knew right from the get go, I'm like, the UHD is compromised. So, but it's just it's just being picky though. That's a normal person wouldn't sit there and be able to just analyze some shit like that without being a complete
dark,
psycho.
it's too dark. It's too fucking dark. Like, you know, Alien Requiem or whatever it is. Alien Requiem. Alien versus Predator Requiem, where you can't even watch the fucking thing. Like, if it's too dark, it's too dark.
I would have loved to see what the Pred Alien looked like, but you can't see it.
You can't fucking see the goddamn movie. Can't watch it.
I had two similar experiences, just like with the Scream Factory 4K of Carrie, and that was It Chapter 1 during the basement scenes with Georgie, when Bill's like seeing him come back, and also the Friday the 13th 4K, where I literally had to pump my settings up because it was just too dark. And the contrast was completely, I mean, it was compromised without the brightness at least being pumped up.
See what the chat, what the chat has to say about this one.
So this is 3 out of 5 on Carrie.
I think we could all agree this is too high for
Yeah. I think 10's too high. My run's got it at 25. It's going to the same Carrie, but I don't have it rated. I remember it being just okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys already explained to everybody that this is a Mickey Mouse list of horror films, right?
Critic.
On fucking Europe song Carrie, 5 out of 5. I wouldn't give that song 5 out of 5. It came on my fucking satellite radio the other day on Hair Nation, and yeah, that song. I didn't like it back in the day. It ain't good now either. Probably because they played that motherfucker every third song when it came out. But all right, we're gonna move on. Number 9. Oh, fuck you. The shitty movie. Yeah. I watched this motherfucker one time and I sold this bitch to Dirk as fast as he wanted to buy it. I don't give a fuck about what kind of political relevance or whatever. This motherfucker was eating shit. And I don't ever need to see that again.
Johnny, you got this one, right?
Yeah, so I went out to, of course, during the Criterion sale. It was a while back. So I bought it, just never opened it. And then Alan was like, man, I don't know, man. Just just throw that thing in the fucking garbage. It'll suit you so much more better. And I was just like, yeah, I'll probably never fucking watch this. So, I mean, who knows, man? Ugh.
This is one of the this is like one of the first like Criterion titles that I bought because I'd seen it on everybody's like most disturbing fucking horror film list, and yeah, I've never even opened it.
Well, let's keep it that way. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. That's my opinion, but it's terrible. It's like a Serbian film. If you like a Serbian film, you'll like this movie. It's just strange. Like a lot of like the Nazis are all gay somehow, and like there's just the scene that
They
sticks
like
out to
eat
me
shit or something.
is not the shit eating, the piss drinking, all that weird stuff. That's not even. There's a scene where they're watching all this, and like the head Nazi, like or one of his head Nazi henchmen, it's just got some dude next to him, and he's just like petting his dick, like just like it's like you're petting a dog's head. He's just petting this dude's dick, and I'm just like, why is everybody gay? I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know what this is, but it's terrible. 0 out of 10 is not.
It was the worst piece of shit I've ever watched. No,
Yeah.
no,
Damn.
So what's the next one?
yeah, we can move on.
What's the next
Everybody's a fan. If you're a fan, I want you to win me over. Tell me
Please,
why-
yeah,
why
tell
be a
me
fan
what.
of this movie.
Tell me what it is that you like about this.
All right. Let's see. Already read all those. I forgot to mark my shit. Sorry. All right, there we go. Solo is bottom 25. 0 out of 5. Not been on a Solo date night.
There you go.
No, thank you. Solo is cinematic genius.
Yeah, right. Smart ass.
Just kidding. It's shit.
Yeah.
Trainee says, who put out this list? Solo is a masterpiece.
I told you, Katrina, you should have come on the stream.
However, the Solo ranked higher than Halloween.
How is it ranked higher than anything? I mean, anything. It's terrible. I don't understand what this is.
This
On
just
a top
proves
10.
that this is not my list. This is not
Yeah.
me and the people that made this list are not going to get along for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
So number 8.
I
I'm
just,
probably wasting too much time. Give me talking about this one.
all right. We got Frankenstein, 1931.
I don't think I own a copy.
I got this brick.
Craig, I don't think owns a copy.
Yeah, Steve, that's the original set that I bought back in the day, man. I still have that thing. I love it.
Yeah. Comes
I
in
don't
handy.
know, one of your sets you got there.
Yeah, goddamn, I couldn't. So many fucking movies laying around here. Yeah, it's on this set here.
The 4K set.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in so long. I mean, I probably was, 7 or 8 when I saw it, and I don't, I'm sure it holds up pretty well. It's just not my deal.
Yeah, it's gonna be too dated for me. Whatever. I mean, I've seen it before, and I've seen bits and pieces, a few times since. Whatever. It's not my thing. But like I said, I can understand why it's relevant. It doesn't surprise me it's on this list.
Yeah.
So
I mean, people love it. A lot of people have seen it, like King Kong, another King Kong. Craig, have you seen this movie at all?
I've never seen Frankenstein.
What about you, Johnny? What do you think about this one?
I mean, definitely. I mean, it's a classic. I was, of course, man. If you go watch it now, but whenever Frankenstein's standing at the edge of the river and he throws the little girl in, dude, that shit is like comedy gold now. Like back in the day, that was probably like fucking traumatized people. But you watch that shit today, and you'll just, if you have party favors in you, you'll fucking wind up in the hospital laughing so hard. But
Yeah, I mean, he's not even a villain. He's just like, he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know
a
what he's
mongoloid.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he has no idea what he's doing.
yeah,
But
He's got like what ADHD or something like.
yeah. We ADHD,
He's special.
the strongest autism ever. He just doesn't know what he's doing, and so it's not a villain. It's I don't know. He's a victim of circumstance. I like the Robert De Niro one. I haven't seen it in many years. I got the 4K somewhere, but I want to watch the effects and the set pieces of that, and I'm sure the original still holds up somewhat well. I haven't seen it in so long. But
Yeah,
this,
the ending at the windmill is fucking still great, man. I mean, you always see people grabbing little clip grabs from that.
yeah,
It's just that's one of the best
it's
scenes
like
ever, man.
real production values. Like it's a real giant windmill and people
They set
chasing
that bitch on
them.
fire.
Yeah. So it's I mean, does this make the top 25 for anybody?
No,
No,
no.
There you go.
All right. While Reynolds says 1931 is number 4.
Damn.
Said Eubanks, Frankenstein 2.5 out of 5, an okay movie. Remember liking it, but don't like Frankenstein 1931.
Doesn't have a rated.
Rated.
Has Letterboxd.
Frankenstein is classic, but not sure it's better than compare the two. Says, I like Steve's explanation. He'd be diagnosed as ADHD today.
Good point, right?
1931, like they had no fucking meds for this mongoloid neither. Like he was just fucked from the get go.
Yeah.
It's a reanimated of mice and of men. You know,
Yeah.
what's his name for the what's the idiot's name and of mice? Lenny.
Yeah.
He's a reanimated Lenny.
All right, moving on that note. Audition, number 7. I did pull that one.
The old arrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
25 years old this year. Surprised
Still
he's
need
not
to
on Romero yet.
Oh, Steve, which one do you have there? Is that the
This
DVD?
is a no,
Old
yeah.
DVD.
This is a DVD. What is it?
Was the blue running around?
And Johnny's got the same release. He's got the alternate.
The
Oh,
uncut
oh,
special edition.
Yeah. This is a good release. Kind of a little bit limited on the bonus features, but it's still the best release we've had of it.
Yeah.
I love the movie. I think it's great, but 7 seems pretty high.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it too, but it's not going to make my top 25. But
I think it would probably just scrape into my top 25.
Damn, your top 25?
Yeah, I love this movie. I've
Damn.
always loved it, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
love it. I love the whole aesthetic of it and the circumstances and how fucking crazy this bitch is. I mean, this bitch
just-
is to be tied.
I just had it in my mind like you would immediately fire off. Will be like, well, you can like literally fucking fast forward to like the 30-minute mark of this movie when she actually has him subdued, and then the movie starts.
Yeah, it plays out pretty well with the her goes into her backstory and the whole bit. I actually like. It's probably the most artsy movie that I like. It's just to the edge of being too artsy for me, but I really liked it. It blew me away when I was young. But you seen this movie, Craig?
Never seen it.
What are you doing with your life?
Watch
It's
it.
not a tour de force or anything crazy, but it's a very bizarre story, and the gore is crazy. I mean, it's just Takashi Miike's best work by far. He's never ever come close to this. But 7 seems very high to me. Like I said, it would skip into my 25, but I don't know that this
Is it like body horror? What is it?
it's it's a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
It's more torture.
It's just
Yeah, it becomes, well, that's her MO. That's what she likes to do. But eventually what about you, Steve? Where does this fall? Does anybody else have this in the top 25?
I don't know about 25, but it would probably fall in my top 50.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. It's not, like I said, some of these movies are reference titles, Halloween, whatever. It is not on those levels, in my opinion. Like I said, this is in that favorite and best thing. This goes in that favorite side for me. I wouldn't call it anything incredible, but it's on here because it's foreign. That's the reason that this is on this list with these people.
Damn Dirty Ape made a really good comment right there. Like, this is just another one of those movies. Like, if you had never seen it, the hype can almost damn near kill this movie for you.
That's probably why I liked it so much. I didn't know anything about it whatsoever. I just went, because the cover that I saw was that DVD that Wrangler has with the girl and the leather apron with the wire or whatever. And I just watched it based on that.
All right. So this is 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I couldn't argue with that.
Well, Ryan's got number 30. Well, my error still Book of Audition.
Oh, good. It'd be a good time to watch it. It's a good time. It's a good Valentine's Day watch, in my opinion.
Oh, this 3.5 out of 5 if I remember correctly.
It seems like a scholar movie.
I haven't watched it in a couple years. I need to watch it again.
Save it for Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Number 6, we got Night of the Living Dead, 1968.
Criterion 4K.
Yeah, very nice looking.
Heavy. What's that set? Zoom in
I
on
got
John.
the same one you got, Brad. I didn't buy that. Pull them up.
It's the Criterion.
Yeah, that's the Criterion.
Yeah, this is like the big long box that was put out that FYE was trying to charge so much money for, and then they couldn't sell them, so they were just practically giving them away at the end. Like if you walked in their store and bought a candy bar, you got this as like a free gift.
I mean, so how many discs is it? It looks like it has about 100 discs in there.
No, man, it's the Criterion release. You just get like the comics and all that shit, like just stuffed in a box with art
Okay.
cards and about the restoration that they did and like a ticket or something that they were trying to play on a little bit. But yeah, nothing's in that box. I mean, disc wise, that you don't already have from Criterion.
Yeah, this is a 3-disc. Well, this is the new one. This is the 4K. It's a 3-disc set. It's got tons of features on it, but looks really good. But again, black and white looks really good on 4K.
Yeah.
Kind of wish this lettering was green, like the original. You know, that would make it pop a little bit better. But yeah, I like the release. I'm happy to have it.
Remember when Criterion first released that? There was already a bunch of people like giving them shit because they're like, "Why the hell like do you have your frames cropped like that for that release?" And it was like, "Okay, that's the way fucking George Romero shot it."
Yeah, I have, for the people in the chat, Trini, I have about 10 Criterion. I'm going to get the No Country 4K as soon as it comes out from Criterion. So I don't hate the company. I just hate what they. I hate their fans. I hate the culture that they're trying to create. I hate a lot about that. But if they got the definitive release, that's the one I want.
Hate that
Yeah, they
goddamn
got a hell of
closet.
Yeah.
got a hell of a
It'd be
roster last year.
It'd be the shortest Criterion closet in history. I already got all the ones I want from you. Take me to the Severin closet. But I mean, as far as it being a top 25, has anybody got this in their top 25?
Oh, it would have probably landed in my top 50.
I'd say the top 50 for sure.
Yeah. It's not gonna be top 25, but I love the movie. Like I said, I watched it many times, but yeah, it's gonna be a top 50. So, see what they say in the chat. Whatever. I know there's a lot of fans of this one. Wait, Brad pulled a Criterion. You showed that. Night of the Living Dead, 3.5 out of 5 for Steady. Brad is slipping. Night of the Living Dead, 1968 is number 8 for Wild Wrangler.
That's a good one, man.
Scott says Night of the Living Dead. I have not seen it fully. Got the Criterion disc.
I think it holds up surprisingly well, especially for 1968. But I like it a lot more than I like Dawn. But hey, that's just me.
Yeah.
Training
I'll
hates
second
speaking
that.
bro.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Get to the top 5 here. Drew Barry's motherfucking baby. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. This would not make my top 1,000 horror movies. I owned it. I got rid of it. I bought that fucking Criterion. I got it to watch. I bought it. It was out of print. Paid way too much money for it on eBay. And the worst purchase I think I ever made, besides that fucking Saw box set. Right up there with it.
I'm gonna be in the minority here.
What about you, Craig?
I've never seen it.
I can't believe that.
Don't spoil the ending. Please don't spoil the ending. It's fantastic. Only burn that fizzles into a bad fart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hate it.
I think you'd be out at the opening credits. It's very, very slow, and it's a weird movie. It's Roman Polanski, kid raper. But to these people, he's a legend. To us, he's child molester. But anyway, we won't go there. I know, Steve, you're a fan of it.
I can separate the art from the artist on this one. Like, I don't know. I seen this movie for the first time. I think I had a fever, and for some reason it just hit right. and yeah, it was probably, I don't know, was maybe in my teens or something, but yeah, I don't know. I just really like this movie. It's a slow burn, and it's very uneventful. Like, yeah,
Hell.
nothing really happens. Yeah, so you're hanging in there for a long time. But for me, I don't know, the performances kind of did it for me.
Yeah.
The cinematography.
It's an apartment building full of Satanists that, you know, will recruit this young actor to let the Dark Lord impregnate his wife. There you go. But it's especially funny because of what number 5 is, and if this or number 4 is, and if number 5 and 4 were reversed, Alan would be. I don't think he would have done this video, done the stream.
I've seen it. Don't have it rated, but remember not liking it. Chris says I've seen it before. The book Rosemary's Baby is amazing, and the movie accompanies it great. Can't stand alone, in my opinion. So this Rosemary's Baby 1.5 out of 5. Watch this movie is like watching paint dry. Yeah. Yeah.
So number 4.
And these motherfuckers shouldn't even be beside each other. I mean, it's just all fucking clout. Yeah, this movie is ranked too low for this list. I think this is my number 1. There's no fucking surprise. So, this is gonna be like, well, fuck. See, that's hard to say because it's, you know, I don't necessarily look at this as being a horror movie. This is one of my favorite movies of all times.
The opening is very hard.
Horror movie.
It definitely has strong horror elements.
It does. But I don't really. When I think of horror, when I think of this movie, I don't gravitate. Oh, this is a horror movie.
It's like an adventure, you know.
Yeah,
movie.
it's kind of a jack of all trades for me. There's so many things about it I
Well,
like.
it did scare the shit out of a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
to this day. To this day. Go to the fucking ocean here in Florida and hum this song while you're fucking titty deep in the fucking water. See motherfuckers don't fucking pucker up a little bit.
It just happened. You just happen to be in the shark bite capital of this country, too. I mean, that doesn't help.
I can drive 100 miles either direction and find sharks. So yeah, there's a lot of sharks around here. And
Exactly how deep did you have to be in the water? You said again.
So what release?
I don't know, but that's a confusing question for me. I mean, is it my favorite horror movie of all times? Fuck, I don't know where to rank this one up.
I got this. I don't know which one this is. What is this?
I think you got the same one I got.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
I've got like
Which
30
one you got, Craig?
movie. This is just the one that
So,
I grabbed. in a
I
rush.
didn't take the lenticular off the shelf, but it has been released on 4K 4 times. We got the original box with the lenticular. It also got a steelbook, which was just kind of plain looking. I didn't really care for the steelbook look of that because it wasn't like the original art. But then, like a few months later, they came out with this slipcover, which I prefer over that lenticular box set. So it's just a regular slip with it's almost like new art. It's still got the shark look, but then not many people know this. It was re-released with the original artwork on Amazon. So if you can get the original slip, try to track it down. Here's a side-by-side of the two right here.
So you have.
All I need is another fucking copy of Jaws.
So I have 3.
I
I didn't
don't have that
get
original artwork.
but this is the one to get with the original art. This just matches the other sequels on 4K. So,
So
try to track. It was only like $10 on Amazon. Came with a slip.
how many titles is that? How many copies is that?
There's 4 on 4K.
So you have all 4 4Ks.
I don't have the steelbook. I didn't like the look of it,
Okay.
but I got both slips and I have the side slip.
Which release did you pull, Alan? Just the lenticular?
Yeah, I just grabbed the one that was on the shelf there. I grabbed it in a rush. Yeah, I got that special box that I had made.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite things in this room. But yeah, man, y'all heard me talk about this movie. I mean, I'm sure y'all sick of me hear me fucking praise it, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So we listen in Rocky. I don't know where to put it in fucking horror movies though. It's gonna have to be in the top 5. But
Yeah.
I can't sit here and tell you that this is my favorite horror movie of all time because, like I said, I don't look at this as a straight horror movie. So,
I mean, the problems with it is, you know, as far as it being a horror movie, is that people will point out that it's a lot of like Steven Spielberg, like guys having fun, you know, banter and stuff like that. Like that, I look at it plain and simple as an adventure movie. Yeah, there's got horrific elements in it, but that was just like if Steven Spielberg set out to make it today, there would be none of that. you know, they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow him to have the Kittner boy eaten and, you know, people losing their leg and shit like that. So it's an adventure movie, and he was allowed to put the gore in it to add the dread to let people know how dangerous this creature was. But yeah.
This may land around number 4 for me, 4 or 5. If I'm doing it just for horror movies.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I said, it's confusing to right now. I have to sit and think about it. I'd have to really look at my other top 5 and see where this would place that.
I mean, in the chat, is it a horror movie? Is it an adventure movie? I mean, what do you guys think? Is it a horror movie? Is it an adventure movie?
The opening is every bit of horror, with the girl getting dragged around by the
in the dark, being
That's
drugged by the
every
dark.
bit horror.
Yeah.
But I would say it falls more under action adventure once the movie gets going. It's not really like a full on horror movie, but is what it is. I still put it with horror.
Yeah, scholars have watched Department 7A this month. That was okay. Jaws, 5 out of 5. Enough said. Agreed. Brian Reynolds got Jaws at number 12.
It's kind of one of those things where if it's a horror movie to you, it's a horror movie.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah,
freaking the
it's
fuck out.
subjective.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely have fear of sharks. I think most people's fear of sharks comes from this movie. I mean, I don't consider it horror, just marine biology. Echo horror. Jaws 4.5 out of 5 may rise the rating. Have not watched it for some time. Tell the world, Chris, I'm not scared of fish because I stay on land. I got this all figured out.
Yeah.
What about Sharknado though? Yeah.
Coast sharks. There you go.
Now,
I mean,
Pops,
you
I
go-
wonder if you feel the same way about this. If Robert Shaw was not in that movie, would the movie be as good as it was?
No, I mean it's the mix of the characters. So no, it wouldn't be as good. It would still be a good movie, but no, Robert Shaw, just those 3 guys is why it's so good.
Robert Shaw.
Take
is
away
not
any of
in it.
those 3 guys, it's going to drop, whatever. But those 3 guys together are perfect.
I think he has one scene in the first act, and then he comes in the second act. It's just him laughing at the shark hunters, you know. But
Yeah.
Yep.
But
That just shows what good of an actor he is, man. I mean, he literally makes you feel like he's a New England fisherman. Like
Yeah.
that's his acting. Like I was
he's
it's
some
so
kind of
good.
like Scotsman or something.
yeah.
But I mean,
Watch something else. Watch him be the villain in a James Bond movie, and then
Yeah.
watch this and just see how versatile he was. You know, to be able to play this character. And this has to be one of my, and I'm probably biased, whatever. This is probably one of my favorite 4Ks. It looks so fucking good in this room. The sound, everything is just it's a perfect fucking movie to watch in 4K in this room. It really is.
Well, I know the Blu-ray restoration when they made this on Blu-ray was a really big project as well. Millions of dollars pumped into it,
Yeah.
and I guess they just put more into it for the 4K.
Even Spielberg spared no expense. Johnny, where would this fall for you?
Definitely, man. Like this, if it's not like the top 25, it'd definitely be like the top 50 for sure. And I do consider that Jaws a horror movie just because, man, when I was a kid, like just like Alan said, man, I saw that fucking movie, man. I was like, I'm never getting in the ocean. Fuck that.
You know, it always
I'm
kind of
around when I
bothers
got
me.
the pool.
You know, being a gun guy, like the firearms that they choose to take to shoot this motherfucker. Like one guy's got an old Garand, and another dude's got an old 38. Like, what are you doing? You got like make some phone calls. Get something.
Grand, I mean, that 30-06 rounds are they're no
It's a
joke.
big bullet. Don't get me wrong. It's a big bullet, but it's just like, you know, you got one old, you know, Korean War rifle, and they brought 2 guns to deal
I mean,
with this.
in Tremors, they even used a fucking elephant gun, and that was Reba McEntire.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know.
I guess we need to move on. But
Yep.
I can talk a little bit more about it if you want to. All right,
Pops, I
number
hope
3.
you pick up this release just for your sake.
What's that?
I hope you pick this up with the original.
That's
slip.
just what he needs, another copy of Jaws.
Yeah,
It's in there.
I'll
There's
pick it
about
up.
400
I'll pick it up.
copies
I'll
of
have to
Jaws
look
in
at
there.
Oh, by the way, summer 2025 is the 50th anniversary, so I'm wondering what kind of box set they're going to put out for that. Another edition.
I'm gonna have to stop at some point.
Sure you will.
All right, number 3, we got Psycho. Yeah, this is about where I'm going to put Psycho 2. Psycho 2 might be number 1 for me. I think Psycho 2 is probably my favorite horror movie of all times. That's just where I land. So
Studio slip.
I don't hate Psycho. Psycho was 3 years. Don't surprise me at all. I got the steelbook here. Nice steelbook, black with a knife. I've always been a fan of this artwork. Very simple, but I like it. And you got the house on the back.
Yeah. Steve's got that purple one with the shower drain.
Yeah.
I never picked that one up.
Steelbook.
But yeah, this movie. I mean, like I said, it was back in the '60s, man. This had to be. I know it was a big deal. Obviously, wasn't around then, but I mean, I'm sure this was one of those theater experiences of people walked out going, "What the fuck?" You know, not expecting the main star to die as fast as she did, the way she did, thinking she's the star of the movie. You know,
Yeah.
and
and then Stain was the whole thing with like it was so far ahead of its time, all that stuff. Everybody says that, and they're right, but he cleans up the body. You know, it's a dead body and wrapping that up and everything. Like this was unheard of back in the day, like that. This was like a big, you know, like what's the word? Taboo? I don't know what you would call it, but it was just a lot of stuff in there that was never done before.
include the shitter. They never showed shitters back in the day for some reason. All these sitcoms, whatever, will never show a shitter, and this one had a close up of the goddamn
Toilet flushing.
toilet flushing. So I mean, like I said, today that sounds minor, but back then that was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you never seen her full frontal or nothing like that, whatever. But the amount of skin you got to see from her,
there's a touch of nudity in it, but that was like a full spread to these people back then.
Yeah, it was risque for its time.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd put it in my top 25, but probably top 50, somewhere in there.
Yeah, me and my wife watched all these, I guess, into last year or whatever, and she liked this one better than part 2. She liked Psycho this Psycho the best. But she also likes Matlock and all that old kind of shit, so she doesn't surprise me. But
yeah, it's tame. It's tame, but it's still a real good story. Shot really well. What about you, Johnny? Where does this fall?
Definitely in my if not top 10, which it probably is in there. If not top 10, be a top 25. Not to mention too, man, like everything that you brought up, especially with like showing the toilet and everything, but to go back and read the history of Hitchcock, the way, of course, that he did ad campaign for this movie, that kind of like changed it all right there. Like he was one of the first ones to do that whole ad campaign too, where you couldn't show up to the theater late. He didn't want you to walk in as he's like killing off his lead because, I mean, come on, he wanted you there on time, and kind of enforced that too on the marquee for that.
They should do that shit today.
Yeah, I
If you're a
wish
Hitchcock
they would.
fan, definitely
If
check out the
you're
movie
5 minutes
Hitchcock.
late, 5 minutes late, that's fine.
Next showing.
6 minutes, lock the fucking doors. You
Yeah.
can't come in.
I agree.
You don't care anyway. Fuck off.
You try to show up 10 minutes late, they should flog you in public. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Burn you, shoot you, and hang you.
this will probably land in my top 25. It probably would. This will be closer to the back end though. But like I said, Psycho 2 is gonna be number 1 for me. So
I mean, this is another one of those examples where I could say, listen, this is one of the best ever horror movies. Not one of my favorites. I like it. It's just, you get in that favorite best thing. It's a different animal.
Hands down, last year that was the Holy Grail release.
Oh,
Right there
man.
for me.
Yeah, it's impressive they haven't shown it yet.
it's up on my shelf. That's why I didn't pull mine down. But yeah, it's that's a great fucking release. I think that was my number 1 release of last year. I think when we did that stream. All right,
The
moving
chat
on.
have anything to say about it?
Let's see what the chat's got to say. I can't watch Land Shark movies. Too scary. Too many shark movies. My friend just made a SOB film movie called Bathtub Shark Attack. Sounds like a future classic.
Feature something.
Prison Scolder, get on that one. Psycho 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I can't argue.
1960 is number 3 for Wild Wrangler. I figured it was up there pretty high for him. 4.5 out of 5 Scolder says. Yep. Not surprising at all. It's a classic. All right, number 2.
I have to say though, for Psycho, man, I mean, I still want that ending. Not so much that reveal that he is Mother, but that slow turn of Mother's corpse in the chair, turning around to reveal the skeleton. Oh my god! I don't know. That still got me to this day.
Yes.
Well, when he runs down the stairs in full garb, looking super crazy, it is pretty creepy. Like that look on his face and everything. And back then, it had to be like the scariest thing fucking ever. It had to.
Like
People
the biggest
that-
twist ending in history. One of the biggest twist endings in history.
Yeah.
All right, Exorcist. I got the
Yeah, I get the same steelbook. I haven't opened it yet.
blue
I'm gonna
still.
check
I
it
got
out.
I got the flip cover up there also.
But this is the blue one that everybody talks about how blue it is.
Yeah, where she's getting her
Yeah.
nut. That's to get the nut face.
Same one.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's The Exorcist. It's a fucking classic. I mean, it's not going to be number 2 for me. I don't know. Probably about. It'll be top 25. It's gonna be top 25 for me. But I don't know exactly where. I'd have to think about it. Maybe around the 15 mark, 12 mark.
I believe I was 6, about to turn 7 when I saw it. It just never did anything for me. I don't know why. It just never did. I can tell you from the objectively, I can tell it's a very high quality. I could see it being in people's top 10s. It doesn't do anything for me. So I'd have to rewatch it again before I ranked it at all.
Yeah, I went to theaters in the late 90s, I think it was. Me and my first wife went theaters and watched the extended version of it. It's the first time that I've seen the fucking spider walk scene coming down the stairs. And I will say that fucked with me more than anything else. And her laying in the fucking bed. When she ran down the fucking stairs and fucking backward spider crawl, whatever, that fucked with me in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about the closest I ever came to walking out of a fucking horror movie. That fucked with me a lot. To this day, it still fucks with me. So yeah, like I said, it does get me. Like, if I watched it way too young, I also watched it on basic television back in the day, probably about 79, somewhere in that ballpark. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah, it fucked with me quite a bit. Yeah. So it's one of those deals. My brother who's 6 years older, doing those, trying to shame me into watching it. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And then I'm fucking getting fucking therapy for 2 years. So, but yeah, like I said, it resonates on me, and I know there for a while. My son is a huge fan of this movie, my oldest son, and he didn't want to watch it with me. I'm like, I have no reason to watch that movie. I don't need to watch that movie. Fuck that movie. And I've watched it many times since then. I watched this 4K when it came out, whatever. I like the movie. I'm a fan of it, but like I said, top 10, definitely not number 2. Probably about 15 for me if I had to guess, just top of my head.
Where's this fall for you, Johnny?
It's
I'm hearing
definitely
myself in an echo somewhere.
25 for sure.
Have you rewatched it recently? I mean, I'm just wondering how it holds up, after all these years.
I think it was actually watched it sometime around last year around this time. Especially one thing that always gets me is when you go to kind of like look at the like some of the news footage from back in the day that they showed, and they kept claiming like hundreds of people kept fainting in the theater while they were watching this movie. I'm just like, there must have been some soft motherfuckers back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I watched a pretty long documentary on it, and they were talking a lot about that. And they showed people, like pictures of people in the lobby, like sitting on the ground, look like they just fucking seen a dead body or something.
Oh, they did the same shit for Alien. Like you can look up like skill and like even I think there's even video footage of people like in the theater watching Aliens for like the chest bursting scene, and they're freaking out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything really to say about it. I'd have to rewatch it again. It just never did anything for me.
I feel like for being 1973, though, man, it's really way ahead of its time, though.
I mean, the quality's there. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about it being a bad movie. It just doesn't connect with me for whatever reason.
We're also fucking desensitized now because we've seen so much shit, whatever. But 1973, these motherfuckers got freaked out over Psycho.
Yeah.
And so this movie came out and it was like, what the fuck?
You're hearing a 12-year-old girl talking about your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just maybe
Damn good valid point.
When I was a kid, maybe I still don't. It's like you either believe in it or you don't, and I don't think. It just didn't get me. These are the weakest grown men. These two priests can't handle a possessed little girl. They're getting their ass kicked by this broad. I don't know. Where's this rank for you, Craig? Does this go in the top 25?
I would say it's in the top 25 towards the back.
Mm.
Yeah, every time I get a rewatch of this movie, I'm hooked every time.
I gotta run through it again. What about you, Steve?
Maybe top 25, like in the back end. If not, maybe probably the 50, top 50.
Interesting.
We're
Some
getting,
people in the chat's got to say
getting
here.
feedback
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm getting
Somebody-
feedback from somebody. I keep hearing it too. Pop's thoughts on The Strangers, Merle Haggard, Mama Tried. The fuck you talking? The drug
In
list.
The Strangers, that song plays on repeat.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
I mean, I like Merle Haggard. I'm old. Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, all I got to say about that. Sydney says The Exorcist 4.5 out of 5. I have the director's cut of The Exorcist.
I wonder what this is. I did like the documentary.
Yeah, it's a good doc.
Freaking did where he just talked about the movie. It made me want to watch it again. That's why I bought this.
Yeah. Scholar said The Exorcist, seen but not rated. Not really a fan of exorcism movies, but watched 2 Exorcist films this month: The Exorcist Believer and Dominion.
Legion's pretty badass.
The Exorcist
Terrifier
3 Legion level. I think it's called Legion.
Yeah, Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
I call him BS on that.
Yeah. I like The Exorcist 3 a lot. So that should tell you. I mean, I don't think they're close. I would put Exorcist 3 way higher than The Exorcist. But again, objectively, I can tell you, I think that it's a quality movie. I get why people like it. I wouldn't have a problem putting it on a best list.
All right, moving on. Number 1.
Oh, big surprise.
Big surprise. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We all got copies of this? You know,
I'll pay enough for this motherfucker. Let me show it off again. Of course, you got the VHS and the fucking 4K in there. So, yeah, that's my $300 chainsaw.
Hefty.
But
what's the steelbook you had? That was the FYE one?
That's the FYE Jason Edmonston.
Yeah. I like that artwork a lot.
Yeah, it's
40th anniversary.
Armadillo.
yeah, it's close between Jaws and Texas Chainsaw, which I have the most copies of.
I mean, I think it belongs on any top 25 list for sure. I mean, it would probably be like 15, something like that for me. But what about you guys?
This is probably going to crack my top 10. Closer to the back end of the top 10, I think. Probably about number 8 or 9. I can see this sitting maybe somewhere around there, maybe 10. Yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, I mean, motherfucker in the wheelchair should die opening scene. But
Franklin.
yeah,
I guess I'm a knife.
yeah, because he has nothing to this movie other than I just want him to die. You know, I want him to die.
It's a chainsaw right in the teeth.
So, so like I said, but other than that, the movie holds up. Every time I watch it, I like it. It makes me feel fucking dirty and slimy and gritty, like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
You know? But
does the job.
It does the job. So yeah, it's I have no problem with it being number 1 on this list. Whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's number 1 on a lot of people's list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say top 10 for me. I'd have once I get my list, really sit down and think about it. We'll see where it lands. But I would say between 8 and 10, where it's going to land for me.
What about you, Johnny? Where's this fall?
It falls right exactly where it's at. Number 1. It's
Yeah.
my favorite movie of all time.
Pretty hard to argue.
Yep.
It's I don't think anybody could argue the quality, even if they don't like it, the story, whatnot, the region, whatever. I don't think anybody could argue the quality, the feel of it, you know, the atmosphere, you know, the whole bit. You know, even from the beginning, the macabre artwork, you know, that whole sequence, you know, the drunks at the fucking cemetery laying there, it's creepy. And then they're moving on forward, the slaughterhouse. You can see the slaughterhouse, the cow is like fucking panting and slobber's coming out of his fucking mouth and it's miserable hot, everything about it. Sunflower seed sequence, I mean, all of it.
Yeah, you can feel the heat in that movie, like the first frame.
And the fucking door, man, when he slams that fucking metal door, it is such a fucking classic scene.
Yeah,
That is cool.
you're gone.
that's
There's no
awesome.
coming back now.
You know,
Dude, when he grabs that girl when she tries to run out of the house and he opens that door open and he grabs her, how big Gunnar Hansen really is. He was a monster.
Big guy. Yeah.
He was a monster.
But what about you, Steve? Where do you think where's it fall?
It's in my top 25, I'd say. Maybe early 20s.
Yeah. What about you, Craig? Where's this fall?
I would say in the top 25, just like he said, early 20s. I go back and forth between this one and part 2. I really love them both, but I would say this still ranks higher above part 2. Part 2 is more of a fun movie, just like a popcorn flick, but this is cool.
This is not fun. Yeah, this is nothing fun about it.
But
Yeah,
I
there's
feel
nothing
like
fun.
how like just throughout the movie they encounter what the hitchhiker, Leatherface, and the cook, and then at the end they all come together. You're like, oh shit, they're all related. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't fall in that category. Most people love this movie so much they just automatically say fuck all the remakes. And I actually enjoy a lot of the remakes, if not all of them, majority of them. So I have no
I like
problem
New
with the
Beginning
remakes.
a lot.
But
Yeah.
So, but, you know,
Best scene in the whole movie.
Arlie Ermy, is that his name? I thought
Yeah.
he was fucking fantastic in the
Yeah.
remakes. He was
Well,
great.
I personally think that Toby Hooper should have done a prequel. You know, when they finally came to him with enough money and everything, he should have done a prequel because he still had the cook. He could have brought back the guy that did nothing with the birthmark. He never did anything ever again. He could have got back the original Leatherface. I always forget his name, but Toby Hooper should have done a prequel, and it should have been very similar to this, in my opinion. But I still like part 2. I just think that he would have done and just do more of what this all worked the first time. Do it again. Where would this fall, Alan? On your if it makes your top 25?
Yeah, probably between 8 and 10. Like I said, probably somewhere in the latter part of top 10. And like I said, once I sit down and think about it, maybe a couple spots higher. But somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I don't fall in that camp either. I like the sequels. I like the remakes and the prequels, and I like that stuff too. But this would be the number. If I was ranking the series, this would be number 1.
The only one I don't like is the one with Matthew McConaughey in it. That
Yeah,
one's-
the
that's
Next
hard to
Generation.
Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like
other than that
that's
one,
fun.
all the other ones I enjoy.
I feel like that's a Johnny movie with the bionics and shit.
You'll say like one of the best scenes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre ever is look what your brother did to the door.
Yeah, what your brother did to the door. Yeah,
Love that shit.
I get no pleasure from killing. No pleasure whatsoever.
Or the face he's making while he's like got the broomstick in the truck and he's like just jabbing the fuck out of her in the bag and he's just like laughing and shit. I love that shit.
I like her face when she looks up at the barbecue and sees the torso, and she's just like, "Oh shit, this isn't over. I still got, I like that. That's like it. I think it's a great movie, and I couldn't argue with it being number 1 for anybody.
I always thought it was just like the dinner scene, dude.
Brains out.
That dinner scene of her tied to the chair and it keeps like doing close-ups of her face, then her eyeball, and it keeps showing like the old man. It shows the cook. It just keeps doing like quick cuts of everybody at the table. Shows like a skeleton and then like a piece of sausage. It's like, what the fuck?
It's shot from the ground, the whole bit. It's shot from the
Just sitting
ground.
there screaming.
They probably were all fucking crazy. It's like fucking 120 degrees in Texas. You're just sitting in a fucking room with a bunch of weirdos at a table screaming.
Well, just when you can't get weird enough, bring on Grandpa. Grandpa comes out and he's a mummy basically. It's just crazy. Everything about it's crazy.
You got a fucking chicken in a bird cage.
Yeah.
That's some weird shit.
Yeah.
TCM 74 is number 2 for Wild Wrangler. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4.5 out of 5 for Sydney.
Only one person dies from a chainsaw, though. Like Franklin's the only one that gets it with a chainsaw.
Rightfully so. It should have been Franklin. If somebody's going to get it, it's got to be Franklin. You'd almost have to be in a wheelchair to get killed by a chainsaw because how are you not going to run? And the other guy's carrying the chainsaw. I don't care if he is Gunnar Hansen, he's still got to carry that chainsaw, and his reach is only this far. I don't know.
I think the title's very misleading for a lot of people, though. You think the whole movie's about like a person with a chainsaw massacring everybody. Only one person dies from chainsaw.
It's just a perfect title. I mean, it's part of that era too, where the stickers they would put on the warnings and everything. That title draws you to the theater.
Yeah. Trini says TCM is the biggest, most overrated movie of all times.
Well, it wasn't made in Korea, so I understand why he doesn't like it. And Criterion didn't put it out. So
TCM Massacre, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Blue, but not watched it yet.
you haven't seen it yet, Shoulder. The
Wow.
trash that you watch and you haven't seen it.
The Omen is my favorite horror movie. I'm kind of surprised the Omen on this list.
Yeah, that's one of 200 movies that probably should have been on this fucking list for some of it. It's definitely folk horror. I totally agree with that, Wrangler.
Yeah. TCM remake way better in my opinion. My opinion sucks.
I like that remake too. A lot of people like that remake more than the original.
Chris says, it warms my heart to see 5 movie nerds smiling as they simultaneously show off their special edition of TCM. That was major payoff.
There you go. These are standard editions, not special editions.
Yeah, that's the standard chainsaw too.
Yeah.
I still ain't figured out how to make the motherfucker sound like a chainsaw. But instead of open it and it makes a chainsaw sound. Mine ain't done that yet. So I'm probably doing something wrong.
Batteries in it.
Yeah, I need to figure it out. So
Johnny, did you order the 50th anniversary Saw set? The one that Alan's got.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm
See,
the only
even
one
there's a limit. This is the #1 movie all time. And he's just like, you know what? I got enough. I have enough. I get 10 copies is plenty.
no, I have actually said in the past, whatever, that it would be fucking cool for them to do like a chainsaw or something. And when I seen that, I was like, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't break the bank. I sold some of my shit around the fucking room to pay for it. So there's that. But whatever. I don't need to justify it. It's gonna look fucking badass in this room on the fucking shelf. So
Don't defend it, man. We buy what we love, man. Fuck it.
yeah. So like I said, I'm very very happy with the purchase. As soon as I unboxed it, I was like, yeah, I don't regret this at all.
Scalder had to watch Dig Shark before I could go watch TCM. There you go.
You could still probably turn around and sell that for $500 at some point.
Yeah.
There's already some on eBay for $600.
They made fucking, I think it's 5,000 copies of it. It's not very limited.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe they're producing them in batches too. Who knows?
yeah, maybe. What's gonna piss me off if they drop the price to $150 in 6 months.
You never know.
Yeah.
This list it just says film critics from Variety magazine. So a list of film critics got together and talked about their 100 best and put them in order, and that's how it came out. Scholar, are you saying Brad should go? Yeah, I have about 10 of them, and I'm gonna get another Criterion in November when the No Country 4K comes out. So looks like we made it under 3 hours. Good thing we didn't try to do the whole 100.
Yeah. So, like I said, my idea was, but this didn't take too long. We'd go back and kind of skim over the other 75 in this list, whatever. But y'all can look this up on your own.
Yeah, check it out. You're not going to be that impressed.
Yeah, I mean, you get down to 100. I mean, we'll just look at 100. We got Repulsion. Johnny,
Repulsion
you
is
say
a
that one?
Roman Polanski movie. It's a Criterion.
Another Polanski. Criterion release.
Suspiria 77 is 99.
Suspiria is
You have an idea
99.
what's at the bottom here.
Suspiria at number 99. That's pretty low. I would think it would be higher than that.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is 96, and Sallow, what was the Sallow? Fucking 10.
Well, dude, there's like 3 Invasion of the Body Snatchers on the list.
Yeah,
That's
78 is the one to watch, though. That's the one with Donald
Yeah.
Sutherland and Jeff Goldblum and shit. Yep. Fucking Spock. Dead Alive, 95. Fun movie.
Brain Dead. Yeah.
Event Horizon. A lot of these movies are better than some of the ones we fucking talked about. What the fuck is that? Human Centipede 2, full sequence. 2011 made this list.
There you go. I'd still put that above Sallow.
I'm sitting there like I'm fucking showing this to the fucking world. I ain't even got this fucking thing on.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they've already fucking went to bed anyway, probably.
Yeah, it is. We're pushing 3 hours. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll have a couple more streams before Halloween or something. We'll have something coming up. Stay tuned to Alan's channel. Make sure you're.
Yeah, I'm still alive. Y'all, everybody know I ain't fucking dead.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna get on out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. If I don't talk to y'all before, I'm sure we'll see y'all before. But y'all have a good Halloween. If not, but I think we're gonna do something else next weekend. We're still working on it. But y'all stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Take it
And I
easy.
got a video I'm gonna hopefully do this weekend. I got another one of my fucking statues in. I get about one a year. I'm gonna do a video on my unboxing my latest one. So
We'll see.
it costs
Fuck
more than
yeah.
the chainsaw. Let's just say it costs more than the chainsaw. So y'all watch, please. Let's make it worthwhile. But anyway, we're gonna get on out of here, guys. Thanks for everybody that watched and joined and all that shit. And we will see y'all next time.
Later on.
See ya.
I guess.